high-level pig-like staff. I sell products I believe in to self-finance, and that's supposedly a bad thing. By the way, we've sold over 10,000 of the 50,000 magazines we have. It's going to sell out very soon. The new October issue of InfoWars magazine is out. Buy it in bulk and give it to people. InfoWarsStore.com. Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. Now, in the first hour, I took some calls that disagreed, and David Icke was on. Folks held. We're going to go to you right now. People that disagree, 800-259-9231. I need to do this more. Not just where people that, disagree go to the head of the line, because we don't screen your calls unless you volunteer that, because it's always just a way for somebody to get to the head of the line. I disagree with you. The New World Order is worse than you say. It's stuff like that. Or, I know you're working for the reptoids, or, whatever the joke is. I'm talking about people that think this is a loving global government we have. Or people that think it's good to have false flag terror attacks that are now admitted. That's what we're talking about. Then I'm going to get into our story that's up at drudgereport.com. A lot of other big sites are picking it up. Catching the bizarre TSA freeze security drill caught on camera. We've got an initiative to expose what the TSA is up to. Our crew went to the NSA a few days ago. That aired on the nightly news last night. We have some video of that. Also, the analysis of Judge Dredd conditioning people for the police state, and an update from the thought criminal who has now been charged in court for riding on the street with chalk here in the formerly free United States of America. Now, the psychopath globalist-run New World Order. George, Scott, others are going to you right now. George in Connecticut, welcome to the airwaves. You are on the air.
Hi, Alex. I sort of disagree with the way you handle certain things. It's not so much the subject matter, but I think that it's very frustrating when you get upset and then get us all worked up. And it's like getting worked up for going to the ball and we don't know where to go. Some solutions or action plans might be more in line. So because I don't want to get all burnt out and bent out of shape and not. So something like the chalk thing, why not call up the governor's office and have this judge pulled? I mean, this is outrageous. Give the number out of the governor or whoever's in charge of putting these judges in power. When there's a 10,000 calls to the governor to yank this judge, don't you think the judge might have a different point of view?
I don't know. They might make the judge king of California. They're like, wow, you hate freedom? You're God. Listen, I hear you and I appreciate your call. Look, I am a reporter, not a general. I have like generals call me up and famous spies, and Alex, you need to lead the resistance, and either it's a setup or they're not living in the real world. I am here to try to give you full spectrum breakdown from different angles of what I believe is going on. Okay? Doesn't mean I have all the answers. And then I believe in you enough that you're going to go out and take action and wake people up. I didn't know that in Austin, the state police, if they see you, who are operating in Austin, that's who I found out's done it twice, will arrest children, women, they don't care. If they see kids playing hopscotch, you're going to jail. Of course, they should just go to Target then and Walmart and H-E-B and arrest people selling it. I mean, this is a system that wants to put the Amish behind bars because they're not criminals, who wants to, but protect the government that runs the drugs and ships the guns to Mexico. They arrest you for protesting on the streets of Austin now. And even though they lose the court cases, they don't care. It's the enemy. It's got to be driven out of existence before the implosion. They will follow orders until the edge of hell. They would feed their children into wood chippers if ordered to. I mean, it's that level of evil. And they're not even evil themselves. They're zombies. They will follow orders right to Nuremberg too. Because they're zombies. They're not real people anymore. You talk to most, just the general public, they're not there. Nobody's home. So move on to those that aren't, completely destroyed. We don't laugh at the zombies. We don't laugh at the jellyfish. We're sad for them. They'll be dead from cancer, viruses, and fluoride soon enough anyways, and GMO. You just have to move on and triage the victims. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're destroyed. When they smile at you with a demonic look on their face, that's a program. It's a program. They're in fantasy. They watch cartoons as kids of the tough guys. They watch pro wrestling. They think it's real. That's usually the type now they get as cops, and they believe that you're the bad guy and they're going to show you. They don't know they've got a look of demon in their eye. This is the new America. We are a fallen, abortion-loving, a partial birth abortion-loving, 50-plus million babies we cut up. So they're going to cut us up, and they're going to cut up your pension funds, and all the prosperity's gone. It's gone. You want it, you got it. Replaced with the prosperity and the property and the health will be petty power trips where everyone from a toll booth attendant to a McDonald's employee can spy on you and henpeck you, and that's the new sacrament. Okay, I'm ranting. We have to find people who haven't been put in the zombie state. I mean, it really more and more comes down to that. It comes down to consciousness and people being spiritually blind. I mean, you talk about solutions. I'm going to go out as soon as I get the time, and I'm going to draw freedom all over the street. And if I get arrested, so what? That's the whole point. Like, well, you could get arrested. Well, yeah, I could live in a police state, too, if I don't stand up against this. What's next? Arresting you as a terrorist for protesting? Oh, they do that now at the DNC. And the Pentagon shows up in court and says, keep him in jail. Protesting is terrorism. And you're like, that sounds crazy. They're getting you used to it. They're like, hey, we chop up babies. It's not a human. Oh, yeah, it's 9 months old. We could adopt it. If you had that baby and killed it yourself a week premature, we'd put you in jail, but we're going to chop it up now. We're going to take your baby's blood at birth and put it in a DNA database. We're going to do what we want, when we want. We're going to give your kids inoculations without consent, even though it's illegal. We're going to lie to you and say it's the law to take shots. We're going to do what we want. We're going to kill you, and you're going to thank us for it. There are hundreds of GMO studies on record. They just came out more this week. Big, major French government studies, you name it, U.S. studies, that these mainline GMO crops that kill the bugs that eat them. Little tip, if corn or wheat kills bugs when they eat it, it has pesticide that naturally grows in it that they accelerate 1,000 times at least, and it kills bugs, it's going to kill you. And you're going to get gut disorders, and you're going to get cancer. I mean, we're living in fruitcake land, folks, and I'm off the reservation. I know it's the Matrix. I see it for what it is, and I'm beyond caring what they do to me physically, because I am here to stand up for my species. I will not just sit here and plug back into the Matrix and go off into the hinterlands. I got Simon in England and others, but let's go to Scott in North Carolina, then Simon. Scott, you're on the air. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Alex. It's not that I disagree with you. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of a lot of things, but I'm not in denial. So, as your guest said earlier, I'm a good, decent human being who listens to you almost every day for about 3 years now. And I think you're not a general, but you're an attorney general who has an indictment against the system. So I listen to you as a grand juror trying to make a decision as to who's, what's the best for humanity. Is it the New World Order? Is it, fighting back? Is it maybe just sitting back and letting God take care of the whole situation? I don't know, but I listen to you, and I think that your arguments are very persuasive. The caller that was angry with you because you were angry, I don't think he was a bad guy. I think he knows what you have to say is right, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He's frightened.
Well, sir, let me just say this about the point you were just making. What was the middle point you made? Because I wanted to comment on that.
Oh, gee, I sat for an hour trying to make points. the Attorney General with an indictment?
Look, here's the deal. You said God, just let God handle it. God works through humans. Or if you don't believe in God, the universe, whatever. But it becomes a cop-out. I mean, listen, if we won't stand up against it, when the UN last year in India alone, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funding, 67,000 children were given weaponized polio that paralyzed them or killed them. And they've got us to the point where it was just in the news like, yeah, we gave 67,000 it. It's no big deal, though. You know, Earth, but we've got to stick our hands down your pants because terrorists killed a couple thousand. I mean, it's all just pure bull. I mean, are you saying you don't believe that there are dangerous psychos running the world government right now?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know their hearts, and, as I listen to your show, I love the points you make about how we're creative human beings. You're a good person, Alex, but, if they're basing, I'm agnostic. I don't say that there's a God. I don't say that there isn't a God. God help us is what I say. I think that, it's my point now, I hope, because it seems that they're stronger, that their intentions are good. Your intentions are good, but are the people behind the scenes? They never speak up. They never say what really is going on.
That's because they don't think you're human. They won't even talk to you unless they know that their whole plan. There's not many of them that know the whole plan. This whole thing's about master deception of compartmentalization. The value of this broadcast, not even what I'm doing, but what we do together, is unmeasurable. I mean, this is as close to what's really going on as you're going to get, okay? And you're like, oh, they're so strong. I hope they're not bad. Brother, have you seen the art billionaires buy? Even the New York Times has written about this. The most popular art is images of dead children hanging off meat hooks and things like that. I mean, these people are beyond hellraiser. Have you looked at what governments do in history? That's not humanity. That's the psychos that crave the power.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done has been right.
We're going to go to Aaron in Nevada in a moment, but first, let's go to Simon in England. People who disagree with me. Go ahead.
Hi, it's an honor, Alex. I don't disagree with you about much, but there's one thing where I think the globalists have been hoodwinked as well as perhaps yourself being misguided. And it's about the HIV/AIDS story. I'll quote from a review by Mike Adams on Natural News. He talks about this film, House of Numbers, which has really broken the certainty that anybody has that there is either that there is a virus at all or that the virus is harmful. And he says essentially being labeled HIV positive is a tactic being used around the world to scare people into buying more high-profit AIDS drugs.
Sure, no. What they do is they use this virus as a cover for other viruses that they're really injecting people with the vaccine. So they are killing, in some countries, half the population in Africa or more with HIV or what they claim is. It's a very sophisticated issue, but there are government patents for the autoimmune virus developed. I mean, it is a eugenic system. And then it's just a minor footnote, when they give 67,000 kids polio last year in the vaccine. It's like, oh, yeah, it's a footnote. They're dead or in wheelchairs now. We're the loving government, though. You need to trust us. Yes, I mean, look at all these famous boxers and basketball players who go, oh, I got the cure, and they're alive, 20 years later. But then the guy that, had 1,000 sexual partners and snorted methamphetamine all day, they die. Well, they died because they were on so many drugs. Go ahead.
Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I'm in England, which is famous for having a very strong culture for defamation. And yet I'm happy to say that Robert Gallo committed academic fraud when he published the papers saying that he'd found this virus. And I actually wonder whether the globalists, they were thinking, oh, great, this virus has come along, but he kind of got one over them as well. And
well, it is true. No, I mean, it is true that the AIDS drugs, many of them actually kill you, and they've tested them on foster children. See, people really aren't disagreeing. You don't have to say you're disagreeing, usually to get on air. people really aren't disagreeing with me. I mean, I want to hear why the New World Order is good. I want to hear why I'm wrong about that. That's what I've been asking. Aaron in Nevada, you're on the air.
I disagree with this notion of yours that it's not about Alex Jones. It is about Alex Jones. You built yourself up into this position. Now it's time for you to take the ball and go across and score that touchdown.
Well, I've got to learn how to balance my checkbook first, good. Look, man, I'm working up here some days 18 hours a day trying to get the word out and cover things. But I mean, what am I supposed to do?
We need a Brown versus Board of Education moment. And I like what Paul Watson's doing on Facebook right now. Everyone should join that. And I like what you're proposing to do, which is get arrested and fight it in the court. That's beautiful, Alex. You are the man.
Well, look, I mean, it's not fun to get arrested, but I mean, if you can't draw political slogans on city sidewalks, which has always been protected, and they call that vandalism, see, they're misappropriating something to falsely charge you. It's like they say it's the law to take vaccines. No, they falsely kick you out of school for something that isn't the law, that's a policy that by law they've got to give you a waiver to. Then they trigger, when they kick you out, truancy and come arrest you or your parents for that. It's all a fraud. It's a syndicate. It's a conspiracy of color of law, civil rights violation. And all the codes are there. And they've got walnut brains with 80 IQs that probably can't tie their shoelaces that will arrest you for it. And it's all got to be rammed through these criminal courts. Here's a great example. The video's up at Infowars.com. Infowars reporters are confronted by NSA. They were already going to be down there fighting RFID the kids got to wear at the government training camps that they track them outside school with as well. So I said, why don't you go by the NSA? And I said, give them the court ruling where the NSA lost a lawsuit in Maryland saying you can't videotape, and give them this ACLU fact sheet. Now, the San Antonio Express News and the other San Antonio paper, the Weekly, they had their cameras taken and erased, and we have that linked in our story. When our people had the sunglasses, they could see, to use the they live analogy, the cops and the federal NSA people said, okay, you can go. We put you in our database trying to intimidate, but the point is you can go, because they understood. We understand. You're the ones that are criminals spying on us without warrants and protecting your precious Al-Qaeda. We know you're illegal, you're criminal, you work foreign banks. We're exposing your giant criminal centers all over the country. And you're the terrorist. You staged 9/11, so you can go right to Hades. When we come back, I'll mention it's on our government. The minions that work for it might be Americans and might not be bad guys. But the system's run by El Diablo. I'm supposed to just get happy about Homeland Security checkpoints with TSA now on the highways and police being federalized and all of this. I'm supposed to just, hey, it's good. By the way, if you think I'm joking, we put up the video on screen of your prisonplanet.tv viewer of FEMA teaches police that founding fathers were terrorists. You can just search that term and find the video that a firefighter sent us of FEMA teaching them that. And we have the training manuals. Obviously, the bad guys teach that. Are we saying the entire system's bad? No, not at the bottom, at the top. Our country is rotting, and it will collapse. Those of you that love tyranny, you're going to get everything you want. Don't worry. Let's talk to Jim in Minnesota who disagrees. You're on the air, Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Hello.
Well, you're sure getting wound up there.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, I found myself agreeing with you while I was listening. You mentioned Title 18, 241 and 242, and also Title 42, 1983 and 1985. However, oftentimes you're talking about, how Obama wants to take our guns away, or the TSA is acting with, unwarranted searches, and that this violates the law. And I tend to disagree. I don't believe that's what's actually happening.
Are you kidding? I mean, they ship guns to Mexico to try to blame the Second Amendment. Obama's trying to restrict guns outside of law. The UN treaty said it would restrict guns. The TSA aren't even sworn officers now running highway checkpoints that are totally illegal, sir. I don't care what you think. It's on record that is totally unconstitutional and the stuff of third world banana boat republics.
Genius is conspicuous through modesty and silence.
Okay, let's sir, Give me your facts then. How is TSA on the highway running checkpoints constitutional?
The point of it is that the presumption of law is that we all got 6001 notice. We got due process.
And I appreciate your call, dude. I mean, we're in a tyranny. We're in a tyranny. We're in a tyranny. It's getting worse by the minute, and you're just throwing out some terms that mean nothing. You don't have due process under force de jure when they got a checkpoint set up under admiralty, administrative law, coming after you. Man, you're out of your mind. Joe in Alaska, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I got to tell you that there's the information that you speak of. I do agree. I've been awake for about 10 years. After listening to your show for the last 4 years, I'm almost at the point of joining the pro-eugenics argument. I mean, I get bombarded with idiocracy on a daily basis when I leave my home.
Yeah, man, those are brain-damaged people under the eugenics and the cultural brainwashing. And sure, the average yuppie thinks everybody is scum. Let's kill everybody. The point is, ma'am, they're going to kill you too. You're getting fluoride. You're getting vaccines. You're getting chemtrail. You're getting GMO. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. Like I said, I have Crohn's disease that I developed 5 years ago because of genetically modified food where my intestines erupted and I would turn septic and had to have treatment for the last 3 years.
Yeah, there you go.
I get this. I understand it. I agree with you. What I'm frustrated with is the amount of idiocracy. I hear you complain about the stupid people that won't wake up.
Ma'am, you're more advanced. You're not brain damaged like them to that extent. They're just victims. You can't say, you know, oh, I get the elite now because they already, you know, gave them lobotomies.
Well, no. I mean, my own mother. How about this? My own mother told me not to talk to her about the things that I'm interested in because she doesn't get it. She literally said, can't you just call me and talk to me about Dancing with the Stars?
No, I hear you. Listen, those people are victims. You need to love your mother, plant seeds with your mother, and move on, darling. I hear you. I understand, and I'm sorry. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds? We have a bunch of crooks that want a dominated society so they can control human development in charge. And it's that simple. And you can disagree about how bad things are with me, but people that are still denying there's no world government when they now admit it, it's just so silly. I mean, here's Hillary Clinton, and I'm going to go to a call from Kim. New York Times, Clinton suggests link to al-Qaeda offshoot in deadly Libya attack. I mean, they give all these different narratives. They put al-Qaeda in. That's how dumb they think you are. And still the #1 story in America is NFL reference. NFL referees agree to deal with league to end lockout. And I've got a guest on about the fraud that is sports and how most of it's rigged now. Today on the Nightly News, coming up 7 o'clock. Subscribe at prisonplanet.tv. There's a 15-day free trial, 2-week trial right there. So go sign up, watch it, support us, support alternative media. Take the archive, share them with people, prisonplanet.tv. Kim in Georgia, you disagree. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Jones, first-time caller. Thank you for talking to me. Been listening to you for a couple of weeks. Isn't it pretty much common knowledge that history repeats itself and that every superpower empire has destroyed itself from the inside out? And this is all pretty much inevitable. And if we don't rise up, millions of people die. And if we do rise up, millions of people die. What do you got to say to that?
But if we do rise up, at least in the info war, we win, even though a bunch of us die and get put in prison. Or we don't rise up and they win and even more die. But look, the issue is this is the 21st century. The globalists in countless documents say, oh, we're creating the final revolution. Look that term up. So that they've learned from the past tyrants, they want to fully take over and never be defeated and not have their evil collapse. And so it's a darkness from which we don't emerge if we don't beat them. It is a dream of just psychopathic demons that they're trying to manifest. So we've got to defeat it. And it's the great animating challenge. If you're not resisting this, you're not alive. If you're alive, really alive at some level, you know to resist this. And so when people laugh at you and ridicule you for being awake, it's sad. Don't feel bad that some zombie is making fun of you. They're following a mental masturbation program to just make fun of you because it makes them feel good. Okay, so you need to look up the ultimate revolution or the final revolution to understand all this.
I understand, but my point being is that either way, and millions died, don't they win ultimately?
No, they don't win. Ultimately, the churches twist the Bible and teach that the beast wages war against the saints and overcomes them. But through that is the next mass awakening that happens. But God's people will challenge the evil. They won't go along with it. That's why they teach the rapture and all this, is so people stand down, and so people go along with it, thinking they're going to have a golden rope come down and God's going to pull them up there, or like there's like a room up there with Captain Kirk and they're beaming people up and down. I mean, all of our Christian ancestors didn't get beamed out. They had to go through absolute hell, many of them killed. Almost all the disciples were executed. I see preachers on TV now and in church teaching that Christians were wrong to say no to Caesar and to be thrown to the lions. I mean, they teach abomination apostasy because the churches are now government whorehouses. Does that answer your question?
I suppose, but just playing the devil's advocate, since I've been listening to you, I bought over 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and I signed up for e-foods and all that. So I was just playing the devil's advocate to see what you would tell me.
No, I hear you, and thanks for putting up with me. God bless you, brother. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.
Good morning. Welcome to the American Journal. I am your host, Rex Jones, and I have to remember to say it's the new American Journal. So I know you guys have been waiting here for a little minute. I appreciate you. I want to give you show updates and kind of formatting. I want to let you know how this is going to work and how this is going to go moving forward. So, Monday is going to be the day that I do solo out of the week because I need my solo practice. And if you don't do solo practice, then you start to you're not as good a performer. You're not able to project as well. You kind of rely on having your guest host or just a host in general. I don't want to just do that. I want to do like one-on-one shows with you guys. That being said, in doing a daily show, the most essential thing to do, which I learned at InfoWars, which everyone learned at InfoWars, is to have the best guests, the best callers, the best people. So 4 days out of the week, there's going to be a guest host. It's going to be Tim on Tuesdays, kind of carrying over the spirit of what we were doing on the American Journal original on the InfoWars network, where not today, we're a little behind the eight ball on it, but we'll have a deep dive for you. Of course, we're going to take your calls today. We're going to do news blitz, talk about things. I know Tim will have some videos. I know he'll have some grander point that he wants to make, but I got a lot on my mind. So we're gonna have fun today, and then Wednesday and Friday is going to be Anthony Graffio. And also, the way this is going to work is it's not going to be a full 3 hour with the guest host. Okay, it's going to be me, and the guest host will come on for 2 hours. So Tim will come on from 9 to 11 or from 8 to 10, whatever the schedule is, whatever. Kind of the same thing with Anthony Graffio. That's just how it's going to work. That's how it's going to kind of progress moving forward. And I just want to give a shout out again to Austin. You know who you are. If you're cool with me saying your X handle, I'll start giving it out. But I've got a really phenomenal dude who is just getting out of school now and is helping me with so many things, like the intros that you're seeing, the Alex Jones montages. I mean, it warms my heart, and it also inspires me and shows me the direction that we need to go with like the art style and the media and just like everything we do, advertisement, sponsorship, memberships, promotions, all of it. Like, it truly was such a beautiful system that my dad built. And I think, like, this saying, like, people say, like, he's forgotten more than you'll ever know. Like, nowhere is that more true than my dad. I was going through my closet today. I was like, what am I gonna wear? Because like usually I wear like a polo shirt or something, or just like a collared shirt that's fun, like a Hawaiian shirt in the spirit of Larry Johnson. But I just, after the InfoWars, like RIP, after the public execution or whatever it is, after the throw into purgatory, the merch is just so cool now. Like, I love having the amount of merch that I have. I have so many shirts. I probably have like 50, and it's really incredible. And like, I put that painting up online and people got freaked out by it and whatever. um I have a hard time parting with any one of these shirts ever. I was looking through, I was like, maybe I can just let some t-shirts go. And I'm like, nah, these are just too special to me because like I know the design, I know the era, I know when it was made, I know why it was made. Like, it's a lot deeper to me, honestly. Like even this shirt with like the meme compilations, all those different photos of my dad and stuff. It used to be on the Alex Jones store. I don't think you can buy it anymore. Yeah, limited edition. I guess now I'm dripped out in designer, vintage designer, and you all are too. Probably, I probably have so many people in here that got something on the old store. And like, and that's the thing. And I had a guy come in yesterday and he was like, hey man, really like the show. It was on one of my posts that had like less comments on or whatever. So he knew I would notice it. And he says, hey man, listen, kind of talking about stuff we all know about already. Want you to cover new stuff, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get to that. Okay. This show is a work in progress. I'm working on getting better every single time I come in here. That's an incremental thing. It's going to be exponential once we reach a certain point. And I would argue that's already started to happen. But, just bear with me a little bit. And I just want to reminisce. Okay. They burned down my home. They burned down my village. I can't go back there anymore. So I like thinking about it. I like the old AJ clips. I'm going to have so many different montages for you guys. We're going to go do stuff out in the field. Like, I was watching that clip because I was watching the intro live with you guys as well. Because I was using the bathroom. I have to be honest, I was using the bathroom. I took a shower as well. I was like, you know what? Yesterday, I didn't take a shower and I came on stream. I look like a greasy pig. So maybe today I won't look like a greasy pig. I'll go take a shower, whatever. I'm listening to live and he's like, I should just go down to the sidewalk and write freedom on the sidewalk. I'd love to do stuff like that. I think I am going to start doing stuff like that. I think it's really important. It also reminded me, like, I haven't thought about the magazine in a very long time. I saw a stack of them a few years ago. I was like, wow. But we used to have InfoWars magazine, and I'll have to there's got to be a digitized format of one that's been uploaded. If someone has that, um, like, at me about it, I'll send you a free product of your choice. If you have like the digital save magazine, just at me under like the Twitter post. And my point with that is just like there's so much independent art that we created. And the cool thing about AI is you can now do that yourself on like a grand scale. But the thing is, you have to have the AI editing tools plus the real world editing knowledge and, just a lot of trial and error, a lot of history, or a lot of like really good mentors. And I think I'm going to have the rare and beautiful opportunity of creating something new. And of course, just like anything new, it's always old, right? Like it's always just an old concept that's been brought into the modern era. But I can't believe, like, after watching all those videos of my dad and whatnot and making the compilations, and Austin did most of that, but I sent him a ton for source material. It's really crazy. No one's gotten it right. Like, besides him, of course. Like everyone else you see doing it, like it's a cheap knockoff. And that's not to diss anybody's content or whatever. I hate that word. Media, not content. I need that. Media, not content. Media, not content. Exactly. Human, not influencer. Media, not content. Great shirt. But when I see other people's media or content or whatever, like, I think Fuentes does a good job of doing the style justice. He just doesn't run ads, and he's even got the edits and all of it. Like, that's InfoWars. That's probably the closest you could get, just being like true to the spirit of the original intellectual property. Someone like Sam Hyde is a bit interesting because, of course, he predates like golden era InfoWars, but at the same time, I think that the influence cannot be denied. I think you look at a show like Hyde Wars, for example, and just all these other things. I mean, basically anybody that has what appears to be a TV room or a TV set, and they're either reading live chat or they're taking calls or doing live reads for things or products. Like my dad started all that. People go, people are doing advertisements for your father was around, son. Yes, absolutely. My dad was the first person to do it on the internet, basically, among the first 100 people of any substance to do it, and really probably among the top 10 of them. So you look at Rogan. Who was Rogan inspired by? He was inspired by that other guy with the podcast show, but he was also inspired by my father. So just so many interesting things to look at from that perspective. And I really, I did this thing with my pin. I did this thing with Sean Kelly, and he's got a broadcasting show he does on YouTube and stuff. And I think I'm going to do something again with him soon because he's coming to Austin in a couple of weeks. And I've really been working on this. I got a little Google Doc where I'm kind of kicking things around. I want to talk about alternative media and what it truly means and what it truly is and the art form that originated, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I think I can do a good job elucidating that for people. And my point with all of that, my point of saying all of that is, how do we let the guy that creates the model, like the Wright brothers plane type of thing, how do we let that guy suffer and get tortured and the public doesn't defend him and doesn't say, hey, I may disagree with the guy, but like, he's a legend. He's been on air for 32 years. They shut him down. They chopped his legs off. They bragged about it. How is any of that okay? And I know I'm doing Alex Jones apologetics now, but I'm just doing it from a different perspective. It's like the founder of a genre, the voice that launched 1,000 ships. And then we just go, invalidate. You said mean thing about person, $1 billion judgment. And no one comes out to defend him because they're too scared of like crying parents or something. I lost my kid. Give me $1 billion. And you might say, well, that's a mischaracterization. You're talking bad about people that, something really bad happened to them and they lost their children. They had a guy and he came on, he lied about it, right? That's what you're going to say. And I'd say, well, people lie on cable news all the time. They lie and get us into wars. They get Americans killed. They get Iranians killed. They get Palestinians killed. They get Israelis killed. They get Lebanese killed every single day. Literally millions of civilians dead because they push the WMD lie. Jesse Waters goes on primetime TV, says that they didn't bomb the school. So how is denying a mass casualty event in one context fine and totally good? Actually, it's rewarded. You're rewarded by society because you're a part of the power structure. You're establishment. You're anti-suit. You're paid. But when an original guy, when the little man steps out of line and makes a little mistake, and that's what it is, it's a little fucking mistake. Fuck you, people. It's a little mistake. It's fucking small. It's nothing compared to actual murder, actual death. My father is not Adam Lanza. But I just laid all that out for you. I don't see the level of public outrage that really is demanded and required when you kill a legend like this. It's not okay. And my dad's going to be all right. My dad has miraculous regenerative capabilities like Wolverine. He can heal from basically anything. But they took a lot of years off his life, literally and metaphysically. And it's not okay. And I want to start off today, and that's kind of my monologue, kind of what I've been thinking about, kicking around in my head, is like, I'm trying to do this for real. And I've been going back to look for inspiration. I've been going back to watch the old shows of the 2000s, the 90s, the 2010s, and see like what that true zeitgeist spirit was about. Because you can go watch an old Rogan episode. You can go watch an old episode of my dad. You could even go watch an old episode of PBD. Things were different, especially during that golden era, 2015 to 2018. And before that, what went wrong? And of course, I think we know that the answer is Trump. And because even though our intentions were genuine, our intentions were pure, they were wrapped up in a corrupt and evil person that we didn't know the truth about, or, maybe we're willing to overlook it. Maybe we didn't want to scratch the wall. And that's the real mistake that I don't want to make again. Going to make personal mistakes, going to make spiritual mistakes, going to make health mistakes, going to make wealth mistakes, whatever. But I don't want to hitch my wagon to another political candidate or another political party because I just don't believe in it. And I just don't believe in them. And I am rooting for, as I've said, and I know that sounds black pill. It's like, wow, you agree with Andrew Wilson. It's like, it's Trump and the Democrats, or it's nothing. Well, there is some truth to that if we continue to live in this cold and evil and dark world. And that's why I think my dad writing freedom on the sidewalk is such a powerful thing. And why I'd like to do that and just start getting people to do that everywhere is like, can't we demand these things? Can't we demand justice? Can't we use our voice? Can't we do something other than being on this all day? Can't we do something different? Seriously. Like, I made a serious business decision to downsize and to cut a lot of costs. And it's going to hurt me to do it in the short term, just opportunity wise. But long term, it's going to allow me to go 100% all in with y'all and to really focus on what we're doing here. So, like, it's a powerful thing to have enough control in life to be able to go on a mission like this and sail a ship and go wherever I want. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, because without your support, without everything that y'all have done, especially sharing the streams, that's the number one thing, I couldn't be here right now. And the growth of the show has been truly amazing. And I also want to shout out Tim. Of course, he'll be here in a little while. But without Gray Area, without getting started, without getting in motion, I wouldn't have done any of this. So very, very cool. And we're very excited to do Gray Area now, Tuesday morning, Thursday evening, Sunday evening. So that's the new schedule for that. And then, of course, 4 other shows with me and then me and Anthony Graffio during the week. And that's what it is. And then I've been talking to people about this. I'm not supposed to reveal insider information, but I'm really bad about that. I'm so bad about that. I make so many mistakes. I'm not supposed to reveal insider information, but I'm supposed to be a third-hour host on somebody's show. And I'm talented. I love it. I love them. They should just let me do it. Just let me do it. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Why not? Okay, but I'll go ahead and get into the news. I know that's not what y'all are here for. I appreciate you listening to the monologue. I know I'm not Fuentes. I know I don't have the right to do it for a straight hour. Shout out Wes. Shout out Armfair. Shout out Graffinati. Shout out Abraham K. Shout out Mersey Dotes. Shout out She Called Me Trash. Shout out Holly Moore. Shout out Dre. Shout out Christian Warrior 9. Shout out everybody. Dre, DJ Jamin Joe. I know I'm missing people, but there are a lot of comments. All right. let's go ahead and get into the news. So I've got more stuff I want to cover that's domestic because I've been talking about the war like all the time. And until it fully restarts, I'm just going to calibrate. I'm going to keep watching like Judge Napolitano and Glenn Deason and Dialogue Works, and I'm just going to chill out. And when Larry Johnson tells me, or when Lawrence Wilkerson tells me it's time to like get back into monitoring the situation, quote unquote, like 12 hours a day, I will. But look at this, right? So new, Iran threatens to enrich uranium to 90% weapons grade if attacked again by U.S. or Israel. Now, they are a threshold nuclear power, a threshold nuclear state. And this is the thing. It's like Schrodinger's nuclear weapon, right? Because they have more than enough enriched uranium. I think they have enough to make 10 bombs, right? But they have chosen not to go there deliberately because they know when they go there, they will immediately be nuked. Okay. So the real thing that you have to understand about the Iran war is that if they make a nuke, if they threaten to use one, that is what America and Israel want, because America and Israel, just as doomed as Iran is, if they make a nuclear weapon, Israel and America are doomed if Iran sticks to conventional weapons. So I don't even know if this is true. I know it's true because it's DMT, but if this comes from an American source, I don't buy it. But if this comes from the Iranians, I do buy it. Of course, they have to threaten something, but this war really is a giant game of demonic chicken. And it's really, really sick stuff, folks. It's really disturbing. So we got that volcano smoldering. You know, it's like the one at Yellowstone. What's that thing called? All right, trivia question. Trivia question number one for the show today. What is the volcano called at Yellowstone National Park? Winner gets a discount code. I am actually not sure what it is, but look at this. Just to carry on, I'm not going to spend too much time on the war. Check this out. So this is pure distilled boomer bait. This is like smoking off oil, smoking crack for boomers. And this isn't to insult any of the wise elders that are in my audience. I'm going to call you a wise elder, not a boomer. Length of wars. Afghanistan war, 543. That's weeks. Iraq war, 457. Vietnam, 439. U.S. Civil War, 209. World War II, 196. Korean War, 161. War of 1812, 139. Iran excursion. Okay, so this is the first point. There's a lot to get into here. So I'm going to try to be concise. Iran excursion. Trump on the first day, March 28th, and I was beefing with people about this. All they would do on X is when you called this out for what it was on day one, hour one, on minute one, what they would say is 1973 War Powers Act, boy. The 1970 War Powers Act. And Andrew Wilson, I'm sorry to keep bringing him up, but Andrew Wilson pretended not to know what it was. He pretended to be someone that's like highly educated on geopolitics and didn't know what the 1973 War Powers Act was. Now, to be fair, I got the days wrong. I thought it was 90 days and not 60 days, but he pretended to not even know what it was, right? And that's kind of what Trump did as well. But keep in mind, Trump admitted that it was a war. But now in his message to the public, you got to think about this like a fireside chat. He's telling the people that it's an excursion. So that's the first level of propaganda. Second level of propaganda, you see how this is a bar graph that's been flipped on the y-axis, or I guess on the x-axis, which is now on the y-axis. See, that's a bar graph there. You see how Iran excursion is in a red box that is a different color than everything else on there. You got kind of green gold. I'm kind of colorblind. I don't know what that is on the top. You got black, you got blue, then you got red. All right. Now that's meant to draw your attention. When I use red on a website, like on a sale button or on like a discount code button, I'm trying to incentivize people to like believe in the product or to get the product. Right. So he's selling you right there. So that's another layer. That's number two. Number three, of course, is the bar graph is inverted. Right. So he's like, the war is actually in the negative. We're negative 6 weeks because it's not a real war. We've been at war for 47 years. So Trump, if the Iran excursion is 6 weeks and it's in the negative and it's a good thing, if that's truly what you're selling us here, then how have we been at war with them for 47 years, you bitch ass MIGA? Can someone explain this to me? Like, this is a lie. This, like, everything about this is a disgusting, disturbing lie. There's like 4 layers of propaganda in here, and it's such a simple graphic, right? But in the simplicity lies the trap. And they know that most Americans, over 54%, read at or below a 6th grade level. They cannot read a Harry Potter book. All right. And we're going to get into that because he posted another meme. I'll just probably go to that next, of the Democrats swimming in sewage at the Washington Monument. I mean, guys, like, if I don't get to have grandkids because I'm dead, if I don't get to have grandkids because I can't feed my kids, if my kids can't have a job, if my kids can't have a country, and then you do the chuckle buddy thing of, well, this is not the Democrats and they're craps, because you could say Democrat, you could say Democrat. Isn't that funny? Like, fuck you, honestly, man. I'm sorry for cursing. I got to try not to curse. Tim's actually right about that, because we got to work on getting some sponsors for the show that aren't just myself, so I can pay some bills over here. Let me see. I thought I had it. I definitely had it. That's BS. And they're swimming around in sewage. Let me find it real quick. It was on RT. It was on RT, but Trump posted this. Trump Democrats. Come on. It shouldn't be this hard to find stuff. And by the way, the cursing thing is only for gray area, by the way. I don't care about New American Journal, but gray area, the first show, a very important evening show. Not going to curse on gray area. You're going to try to minimize that. At least it shouldn't be so hard to find things. You know, when I pull something up, the tab shouldn't spontaneously delete. That would be nice. Shout out to Wes in the chat. I know you're there. I'm switching for myself right now. And I do like switching for myself. I like having my computer. Okay, that's funny. The lasers, bing, bing, gone. Okay. All right. I can't deny humor. All right. That's funny. All right. That's just objectively that is funny. Now, the war is not funny. The genocide is not funny. The slaughter of innocent children is not funny. But, you know, it's like Dr. Evil, you know? It's like $1 billion. Like it's something like that. You know, he kind of is Dr. Evil. It's kind of the best presentation I can give you. But I had this. And, okay, here it is. Here it is. All right. So this is very sophisticated. I'm going to break this down to you. So this is kind of the web that they bait the boomer into, or they trap the boomer into, and they use two they use two emotions that they kind of bounce them back like a ping pong ball. So look at this. They use self-righteous anger and pride, like this, like, you know, it's not a war, it's an excursion. Oh, look how much shorter it is, and all these other ones, it's not even short, it's in the negative, it's all good, it's all okay, it's all fine, because, well, I guess they use ignorance first, right? They use ignorance, and then you're programmed by this graphic to accept it all and think that it's all okay. And then you've got this. And this is what I meant by the pride and the self-righteousness. Well, at least I'm not a Democrat or Democrat. Oh, I even made it better. I said Democrats because, like, it's a sewage reference. But he said Democrat. You Democrat. You stupid. I smart. I twump. I in charge. Oh, I got it. Dude. We got to get the soundboard cooking, because I need Imperial March, and I need the liberal thing that my dad did. I'm literally 5 years old. I can't read anything more intense than the Magic Treehouse, and I do have to say my propaganda has been working phenomenally. Let me tell you, every person over the age of 85 is voting for Donald Trump. Even the Democrats, because they love Israel. I love Israel. Now we're all friends. I really think you're stupid enough to look at an AI image and excuse your gas price being $6. 6.7, 6.7. The kids say 6.7. They think it's fun. How about your gas being 6.7? Like that's what we face. That's what we deal with here. And you see how it's very sophisticated. And look how simple this is. Big text. Afghanistan. That's kind of a big word, but they kind of probably know what it means because they saw cable news 20 years ago. I mean, you don't have anything here that's complicated, right? The most complicated thing is the Twitter handle in the Afghanistan war. And then you go over here Democrats love sewage. So that's like, like 4 or 5 different syllables, right? That's like, and I'm bad at that. People go, Rich, you thought it's all syllables. Okay, if I fucked it up, I fucked it up. I'm good at English. All right, I'm a very good reader. So Democrats love sewage. And you see, that's all it takes. And then this is what you're arguing against when people's brains, when you talk about genocide, when you talk about war crimes, talk about spending, and they just go, well, the war is short. It's not even a war. Oh, it's actually shorter than any war ever. And then it's been going on for 47 years. And if you don't think so, you're a Democrat. You swim in sewage at Washington Monument. Excellent job, my minion. Excellent job. Remember to buy your Trump phone, Trump cell phone. I mean, we're going to get into that. I mean, they just rug pulled people again. Now you ain't ever getting a phone. All Amiga ever wanted was a phone. Can Amiga get a phone? Obama phone. He gave him phones. Trump can't give him a phone? Seriously? I mean, what would it take to spend, I don't know, $40 to buy, like some sort of decent, half decent Android phone from China and then just send that out to people painted gold? They can't even do that. Like, that's how much, and it's not even like, here's the thing. If it was like a skewed grift where you still got something and they made a ton of, like, think about it. If Trump stopped the wars, if Trump made some sort of like positive, like trade deal, peace deal with like Russia or China, if Trump did something that was really cool, really based, Trump actually did mass deportations, but then, they're grifting, they don't sell you a phone, they do a crypto shitcoin, rug pull, whatever. Do you really care? I'd like to think that I would still care, but honestly, I got back into this because I'm anti-murder. That I think killers should be killed. Like that's what I believe, right? And I thought that Trump shared that belief in that I am a total fool. And that's why I wear my clown costume for you and I do my little dance. I hope that you enjoy it, by the way. But let me find this because it's just so crazy. And I heard about this and I was just like, this is never going to happen. Obviously never going to happen. I got an MTG thing I want to get to as well. Oh boy. Breaking. Donald Trump scammed 600,000 people. Only 600K. That's bad conversion rate, by the way. What is that? Like, damn, Trump, you can't do better than like 2%. That sucks. I have like 5. Damn. Donald Trump scammed 600K people. They order phones and he didn't deliver them. Nearly 590,000 people got paid $59 million in deposits for the Trump Gold phone. Yet a year later, not a single device has shipped, of course. And the launch date has disappeared from the website. Well, here's the thing. The real phone were all the friends you made along the way, talking about Trump, sharing the news about Trump. That's the real communication. I don't know. I'm like AI, kind of like natural intelligence. I got to formulate a joke. I got to come up with a good one here. There's a banger here. Trump Mobile's updated terms reportedly now deposits do not guarantee a phone will ever be produced or be made available for sale. Let me tell you, people are so stupid they don't even read the terms and conditions. I said, you have to pay me $1,000 and I don't even have to give you a phone. And can you believe it? They believed it. Ugh. You do get better at the impressions with practice. When I started off doing Trump, because I wasn't thinking about it, that was a banger. I came in hot, and then it's kind of faded out a little bit. Ugh, Okay. All right. I'm freed from the parasitic influence now. Forgive me. I took I love President Trump. Roll Tide, President Trump. My buddy Trump is in a fight. I'm in a fight too. All right. I'm sorry. I have found my voice. I apologize. My dad taught me how to use it. So, oh man, what am I going to get into here? Okay. So inflation is now outpacing wage growth. And you combine that with the consumer sentiment hitting an all-time record low. What are people supposed to do? Like, I have the best products, the best prices. I'm not even trying to plug. Like, seriously, I have phenomenal deals on everything because I own the entire process, and people are barely buying from me. People that used to buy from me are not buying from me anymore. And I know why that is. And I feel like sorry for them because they're also me. Like, we're all in the same boat. Nobody can afford anything. I'm going to out myself here. You guys are going to attack me. You're going to say, this is why it looks like shit. This is why the show isn't as good as it needs to be. And you're right, by the way. I was eating GMO poison. All right. I was trying to get myself some GMO Taco Bell poison. And I went there and they were like, that'll be $20 for a number 6. And I was like, excuse me? It's $20. I got the sugar poison. I got the Baja Blast instead. But like, it's just, you can't afford fast food. That shit, I used to go when I was 17 and pick up this girl who was older than me by a little bit. I think she was like 19. And we used to go hang out at Taco Bell and eat in the car and like hang out and like smoke weed. And you could get like 10 items off the dollar menu with $10. Like those were the days, man. Shout out 2019. I miss her so much, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, but that world is gone. And I think the reason why I'm so nostalgic is that was the time before COVID. And all these price increases that happened over COVID, the key salient point to make here is that none of this was like temporary or transient. It never goes away. The inflation never goes away. So when stuff was getting 8% more expensive, like year over year, that's why everything's 100% more expensive right now, minimum. And they want to play this game where they will tell you that, you know, it's not actually as bad as you think, and it's only like a 40% increase and blah, blah, whatever. They cook the numbers, okay? A tiny little thing of blueberries is like $10, okay? I used to be able to go and buy groceries with $40. I used to be able to damn near fill up a cart. This shit's insane. Milk used to be like $2. Now it's like $5. Used to be cheaper. Used to be way cheaper. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. I'll look this up. What was the price of milk I've been watching too many Russian speakers because I keep using articles when I shouldn't use articles. In 2017. Yeah, 323. All right, yeah, it was $3.23 a gallon to buy milk. That's what I remember going to the grocery store once I had a car. Crazy. This shit's unacceptable. A doubling in price and everything is unacceptable. And when people can't even like outwork it, and that's what we see here, that's why I have it up on the screen still. When people can't even outwork the problem, when they have no means to, out hustle, and they tell you, what's the American dream, kid? You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And everyone that's always chuckled in my face and told me that is someone that's been a part of the power structure. And they're in the in club. They know somebody that's got money, so they're going to be okay. And this really pisses me off. It makes me sick because we're not those people and we get treated like those people. But, that's who the lawyers are. That's who the Sandy Hook families are who got $73 million or $71 million from Remington. He got $2 million wrong. We'll sue him for $1 billion because he lied about us. Fuck you. Fuck you people. Enjoy your blood money. You sued the gun company. I'm sorry to go back to it. It just pisses me off. Forgive me. Because here's the thing. It's like I shouldn't be sweating and dying out here right now. I worked when I was a little kid. So I wouldn't have to work now. That's what I thought. I thought I'd be retired. When I was like, a little kid, when I was working there, when I was like 16, 17, I was like, I'll do this for a few years and then I'll be able to rest. This is all I've ever done. Look at this, guys. They want to tell you this is okay. They want to tell you to accept this for you and your wallet, you and your family. I'm kind of tired of that, guys. Kind of tired of it. Kind of done with it. But let's go to more. I don't want to roast the quartering. We go ahead and play this because here's the thing. I think he was taken out of context. I don't want to play this one too because it's short. We'll find the longer one. I think me and Tim will probably do that on Thursday or whatever. But Dan Bilzerian's point, I don't want to do him a disservice. So I'm going to go ahead and make his point for him. Is he's saying, look, I said that the only war worth fighting would be against Israel because there's no other justification for a war. Like the war in Russia, Ukraine is not justified. These other wars are not justified. But you have prisoners being raped. You have children being killed in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands. You have starvation. You have food, water, electricity used as weapons. And this is the thing is that's what the Nazis did. It's Nazi behavior, right? So if you're against, and this is the thing, Dan's against Jewish supremacy. I'm also against Jewish supremacy. So I think that was a salient point to make, but I'll wait to play his full clip for a little while. I'll wait to do that. Good grief. Oh, this is what I was looking for. So look at this. This is another key example because we just talked about the propaganda. We talked about this. We talked about this. And this, to tie it all together, is who it's built to work on. Okay. Now, you can look around the room here, and I zoomed in on faces just to be sure. Even the cops are senior citizens. The youngest person here is probably like 70 years old. And that's the constituency. Because here's the thing about people like this. Here's the thing about people like this. All these people show up to the fucking polls to vote. Dang it. I said the curse words. They show up to the polls to vote, guys. They show up and represent for the empire. And that's why, even though they're diminished, even though there's not as many of them as there used to be, even though there's more people that are waking up, they know that if they can funnel enough money into political ads like this, that people like this that were around for the invention of the color TV and the subsequent hypnosis involved, that watched men land on the moon and watched us win all these wars. That's what you're up against, guys. And to older population, you're not boomers, you're elders. If you watch me, you're legends and you're respected. This is a particular mental illness in the country, just like there's many mental illnesses among my generation. And we want to heal all these people. We want to protect all these people, want to uplift all these people. But the people have to wake up to the fact that they're being used. Like, this is like, he's like the nanny goat. He's in charge, and he's been put in charge by the farmer, and he's farming their votes. That's what this is. Wake up, people. Wake up. I'm going to throw this letter from Massey up. And I'm going to take a little sip of caffeine here. Today, for the caffeine selection, we have yerba mate, mint flavor. The ingredients: an infusion of filtered water, organic yerba mate, organic peppermint leaf, organic spearmint leaf, organic agave syrup, organic lemon juice concentrate, fair trade ingredient. When I get a voice coach and when I stop smoking cigarettes, which I need to do, you guys are going to really see just how good I can be, because that was horrible. But I can tell I can get better at reading stuff. So I'll read this to you now. Dear fellow Kentuckian, our farmers and their farmland are under threat from land developers and data center manufacturers purchasing up our land, spoiling our soil, and draining our water supply. Appalachia and our rich lands in Kentucky have become a primary target for billion-dollar corporations that have been flooding Washington, D.C. with their lobbyists and checkbooks, seeking easier and faster ways to pull the land out from under our families who have labored in the fields and fed our nation for generations. Just the other month, the special interest groups used their leverage in the House Judiciary Committee to attempt to force a bill through Congress that would have granted liability immunity to data center developers, a special carve-out in the law afforded to no other industry. And I'll just pause there for a second. Why is that? Why do they get to skirt regulation? Why do they get to cut costs? Why do they get to hire and fire people the way they do? Very simple, folks. It's a military operation. And that's why all the big tech companies now, they have an executive in their company that is appointed like a U.S. military officer. They become one, right? That's why they get the approval. I think it's Larry Ellison's facility. I don't want to misquote. It's one of the monsters, okay? One of the demons. The Salt Lake City facility, 5 months instead of 5 years. Oh, it was Kevin O'Leary. And Kevin O'Leary, he does the carpetbagger thing of like, well, you see, I got to get like a Colonel Sanders hat or something. Well, you see, here's the thing. I am an environmental studies major. I have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree in environmental studies. I was working on my master's. It didn't work out. And I say this data center over here, I say it's totally fine. You got the ducks, you got the lizards, everything. Everything's all fine. We just gonna use more potable water than 7,000 homes. We gonna use it every day. It gonna be subsidized. You gonna pay for it. And then you're sitting there as an American citizen. What does someone from Utah call themselves? A Utonian? a Mormon. Okay. What if someone from Utah call themselves a Mormon? But you're sitting there as an American and you're like, this is a Canadian billionaire that's literally coming like the guy that comes in the Lorax to rape the earth. And we just all put up with it. There's not public outrage. I mean, here's the thing. There's something powerful about this data center issue that we can build off of because it's environmental. Okay. And on the left, they really, really don't like that carbon. All right. We kind of like the carbon. We think we're carbon-based life forms. We think we're the carbon that they want to reduce, all that stuff. But if they care about the water, which we also care about, if they care about the air, which we also care about, how about this? How about, kind of as the left and the right are coming together on the basis of, I forgot you were coming. You scared the shit out of me. Kind of like the left and the right are coming over on the basis of like anti-colonialism, anti-imperialism, and protecting people's rights, kind of in Ukraine and in Gaza. We could come together on environmentalism because these data centers, they rape the earth. There is no reason for us to live in a world where we have to deal with situations like a Canadian billionaire coming and drinking a lake. You shouldn't be living in that society. So I'll read the rest of the Massey thing, and then I'll be joined by Tim here in a second. Do I still have the green screen settings on? I do. Okay. I just noticed that. Thank you, because I haven't been reading chat. Where do I fix it? All right, I found it. How are you doing, Tim? How's your drive over here? Why did it revert? Oh, I still have it enabled. Delete. Okay. All right. Now we're back. Now there's no discoloration. It was doing a thing where it was making like if I like sharpened the green screen anymore, then it was like making the top of my forehead, because I'm bald, it was making it like disappear. So it's going to be a trial and error thing, but I think that there's a lot that we can do for gray area with like a proper green screen setup. We need better lighting. You have to have lighting. Watch out. Yeah, you have to have lighting that comes like more direct from over because it doesn't catch the ends. But the thing is about the studio, our table is small, right? But the ceilings in here, it's like 10 feet, right? So there's actually a lot of room to make it feel like, we're in this like expansive, like cavernous space. Check out the shirt. Just go ahead and stand up and show people the shirt. Check it out. Check out all the legendary moments there. Look at that. It's now a vintage shirt. This was on Bigley. Now it's not on Bigley anymore. You want it. You got to get it. You got to get it. You got to get it now. But you can't. And Tim's getting plugged in here. I'm going to read some comments, and then we can read this massive.
What I miss, y'all. I just got back from Disneyland.
Oh, the Dow.
I know we're at record lows, but sentiment is at record lows, but Disney pizza, that $95 pizza was real good, y'all.
We're going to be positive people. We're going to be people that don't talk about the $100 pizza. We're going to be people that don't talk about the war. We're going to be people that just talk about how great I am, Donald Trump.
Well, Mr. President, I saw your little picture there, and it said Iran excursion. That is what it is.
Yes,
it's just an
not
excursion.
A war. That's right. Absolutely. Have you donated to Ed Galrin? He's running against mean Thomas Massey, bad Thomas Massey who didn't do everything I wanted. What do you think?
Crooked Thomas Massey.
That's right. He's all corrupt, even though I have a crypto coin and I didn't send cell phones. I promised to people.
I know. See, I'm your biggest ball washer.
Oh, no. That would be my job for Netanyahu, and here's the thing. He gets jealous, if other people treat me nice, so I'm not allowed to do that. I want my own voters to hate me. That's very important to Trump. So, I don't know. Welcome to Gray Area.
Welcome.
Journal. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. The boys are back.
We were doing this on InfoWars last month.
You guys miss me. I know there's probably a lot of people that are not tuning into the nightly show. So you guys haven't seen me in a long time.
Well, you guys got to catch both of them. And like, that's the goal with all of this is like, we have morning show, we have evening show live, sometimes multiple times a day, like on a Thursday, for example, where you can catch me in the morning. Yeah, be careful with that one. We catch me in the morning and then catch both of us in the evening. And then of course on Tuesday, we're going to be doing this in the morning. And this is going to be, I'm streaming on all the accounts right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We're going to take a moment here
What's up?
I totally forgot. Here's the thing, guys.
Oh yeah, you guys got to subscribe.
Yeah, we're at 52. That's not right. We got like 2,000 people in here.
How dare you guys not follow the New American Journal?
No. Never insult the listeners. New American Journal. All right, we're live right now. It shouldn't be upcoming. It should be live. I don't know why it's not happening. But you got to follow New American Journal on Rumble, okay? Because here's the thing.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to try my best to not curse on gray area shows because we're trying to get some sponsors, all right? Got to pay rent. Got to do other things. We're going to get the best sponsors as well. That being said, I kind of want free-for-all where I can skirt around and play copyright music and like do a bunch of BS. And Rumble and X are the new 4chan, so I'm going to be allowed to do that. But I'm going to have fun on certain days with the New American Journal that don't conflict with our sponsors.
Yes.
So we're going to work on that as well. But what do you think about the new show that's kind of the old show? We can't say it's the old show because we'll get sued.
I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly love what you're doing. I like the green screen graphic. That I was watching you yesterday, and I was like, it's pretty cool.
Right.
I see what you're talking about, getting the variety even for gray area. But I think, I like seeing how, people who loved InfoWars so much have all come over and they said, you know what, this is where I'm going to listen.
Well, the thing is like I have a binder in there and it's not that complicated. I'm kind of pissed because I know there used to be a lot more in it. But, it's just all the different backgrounds they have up on the TVs, right? Because you see my dad's studio, like my dad's old studio, the InfoWars one, like how many TVs they have on those walls.
So many.
And even the one in the American Journal, or not the American Journal studio, the War Room studio, they have a lot of TVs on the wall. And the thing is like Tim Heidecker, I don't know how I was able to make a green screen look better than him, right? And that's because like when I tried to do the green screen, I didn't have it move. I had it be a static background. Right. Because to truly do like the moving wave patterns and the really intricate graphics, you have to have like the LED panel behind you or the TV behind you. But they didn't even figure that out. So it's been cool to kind of go back to the primitive days, the original days of InfoWars, where it was just that static image. And I think people recognize that. Have you seen any of the intro to the show?
Oh, yeah. I love that too.
Did you enjoy that?
I do.
What'd you think about seeing my dad like that?
Yeah, so it's like it kind of like reminds me of its own little flavor. You're like doing an homage, but at the same time, you've kind of blended and made this your own thing, which is what I appreciate the most. Yeah, this guy works hard, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be working smarter, not harder, very soon. Things are gonna get a lot better. The thing is like,
hand me that remote.
Yeah, I got you.
No,
the other one. Oh, for the light. I got you. The thing about this is like, I want to do a lot more man on the street stuff. I want to do a lot more citizen journalism. I want to go to a lot more places and do a lot more things. And I'm going to be reducing a lot of my overhead that's been kind of preventing that. So just going to be downsizing, a little bit, and that's okay. We're going to get back to bigger and better later, but I don't want my business to become the Iran war for me.
Really, really
so,
big.
You know what? If I'm telling Trump he needs to stop, I need to stop. So it's time to be logically consistent and to figure these things out. But what's on your mind today with like politics, news, world? What do you have?
Yeah, I saw this Trump phone
I talked
thing.
about this a little bit. We can do a little. I don't want to rehash, but like, isn't this crazy?
Yeah, gold plated.
No one ever thought they were getting this.
Here's
right?
the best part about this phone. Probably like 6 months from now, that phone's gonna stop working. Like he never gives like the high quality stuff. Like I looked at it as Trump watches. They were like basically you could get that stuff off of like Temu, And have you ever seen a Trump watch?
Yeah,
and it's like $500 for a Trump watch.
Have you seen the sneakers?
I have not seen the sneakers.
Oh, you don't know about this? Do you know about this?
No.
Are you aware? Oh.
I'm not a real nigga.
Oh, dude. I guess not. Trump. I mean, think about the amount of money it's going to be worth, though, right? Because I think buying these is actually a good long-term investment. Where is it?
Ooh,
here, give me 1 second.
Is it kind of like a Jordans?
Yeah, exactly. Trump. True.
These are the real Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. Look at that.
This is corny. What?
Cornball.
Hey, if I ever catch anybody with these shoes on, crazy.
Corn Pop was the designer. It's so.
What are those?
Well, dude, that's the real MAGA uniform. You gotta wear those to be cool. You gotta wear those to support Trump. I mean, anybody in their right mind that thinks that that's logical or rational. And I just want to do a quick rehash because now I know you're watching the show. So, like, this is very clearly meant to appeal to senior citizens, right? Like
Democrats.
Yeah, the big text and all of it. Don't you also see that? Like,
yeah. The thing I found so ironic about this is like he calls it an excursion.
Yeah, we also been at
The
war for
signaling.
47 years.
Oh man. Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing that's on my mind today, guys, it really is like I was joking around the consumer sentiment, but like I actually am. That's all that's been on my mind, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah, and I showed the. You want to talk about that because I showed.
Yeah, I mean, look, I went to Target the other day. There's this lady in front of me.
Right.
And she's probably got like a handful of items, not that much.
Right.
She starts ringing. Cash register lady was like, "Oh, that'll be $95." She's like, "Oh,
yeah, I don't have that." That's what you
no,
said.
she said she's like, "I only came in for a few items." So when I saw she only had that much, I was like, "Oh, I'm cooked," because I had like maybe a few more items than her. Mine came out to be like $110, and I was like, "All right, I'm done. I cannot take this anymore." And I'm like, the average person that's just going around. Here's the thing: our economy is a consumer economy.
Yes.
Right. It only works because of the fact that Americans are buying constantly. Okay. We aren't a net exporter.
Yes.
We are a net importer. So if we're not buying things, becomes like a nice downward spiral because the companies are like, oh, we're not making any money, so we have to cut head. But if we cut head and we don't have any people working and we have a recession, then it just creates that downward spiral.
The thing that's really crazy to me is like I think that there is enough money. Like, of course, there is enough money to make like to do the retail or to do whatever. It's literally just all profit motive. Like with the airlines, for example, like what happened with Boeing, they fired all the engineers and the people that used to run it, and they replaced them with lawyers like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and
they
caused
it out,
that caused the problem. Because I was in the aerospace industry.
Yeah, talk about it.
I worked with most of the guys that also came from what used to be Boeing, but they turned it into Spirit, where like the fuselages were coming from, and also in my adjacent kind of like sister company to that. Quality's not a thing anymore, guys. They did fire a ton of quality people,
Scary.
right? Okay. Not to throw my previous company under the bus, but
layoffs have been universal.
It's not just the layoffs. Do you know what the quality was like at my facility? My boss didn't even fly on commercial planes anymore.
Really?
And that was because he knew what was coming out of our shop.
I was looking at some of the rivet work on the wing, and I was like, okay.
Well,
I guess they figured it out at the end.
Well, the thing is like these machines are very highly complex. And if you're skipping steps, which people get into a habitual pattern. This is like the day in a life of a guy who's working on the line. If you've been doing the same job, let's say for 5 years or so, you're just in a completely cyclical motion where you're just like on autopilot. Right. Okay. Normally you're supposed to be following an SOP or a manual where you're doing every single thing according to that manual. And obviously we all know that that's supposed to be, like we miss things, right? So that's why quality comes into play. But if you don't have quality that's qualified for quality, then you're relying on the actual person who's building the machine. So not to get off the rails, I know we went into a whole segment.
Well, but that's a good. It shows like, you know, people. And I always say this: people are just people, and we have these very complicated systems. Like we all stand on the shoulders of giants. Like everyone that's working on planes now, they do that because some guys in North Carolina or Ohio, from Ohio, decided they could make a plane, right? So when that knowledge gets lost or just like gets ignored, and they're like, well, we can save more money doing X, Y, Z, and they phase out the people. I think that's the problem we're dealing with government too.
Yes. Let me bring this full circle for you because you are making a good point here. Also, another problem that's going on in the industry, and not just the aerospace industry and all the industries, and why you're seeing quality go down across all the sectors for specific things, is because of the fact that there has been a brain drain of people who used to be that you go to a company, you work there for a very long time, and you typically retire from that place. We're getting away from that now. Now the schedule is you go into a company, it's more profitable for you to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
Because they're giving you 2% raise. Like who wants a 2% raise to keep up with inflation?
The bigger initial salary.
Right. So, but the problem is if you have a churn out constantly of people who are supposed to be experts, you lose all the knowledge because not everything is documented. So it used to be better because people used to stay within the company for a very long time, and you used to be able to retain, and it used to be the transfer of knowledge was a lot better.
Nobody even knows the concept of like a gold watch anymore. You know, like you work for the company, they give you the watch, they give you the pension or whatever. That's not the goal. The goal is like get the Bugatti at any cost. I must get the supercar.
Oh yeah. But this is the last point I'll make.
Sure.
I'm working at a company right now where this is happening in real time. I have now become one of the senior engineers, and I've only been there for about a couple of years.
Wow.
Right? We had people leave that had been there for 10 years, 15 years. Guys who are like older, they're like forcing their own retirement because of what's happening in the economy and the pressure that's being put down on the rest of the people who are still trying to work. It is a crap show.
Well, you notice everything's lower quality, and they want you to get lower quality for a higher price, and they want you to say that it's still good. And in fact, like, here's the thing, and this is what I said, like with the Trump phone thing earlier, it would be nothing. I said $40, probably like $2 to get like Android cell phones in bulk, paint them gold, and send them to people. Like, it would be the cheapest thing. It would probably cost you.
Well,
like,
they're cutting corners on everything because they want to maximize profitability because these companies went public and they have to appeal to the shareholder. You know, Snapples, they used to be like that metal container, that glass container.
Yes,
used to have some real weight to them.
And now it's
this plastic squishy thing. Yeah. I mean, look, that's what's happening in the industry. And it is just sad because, you know, I'm watching the companies. I've gone from several different companies. And the only reason why I've left the company is because of the fact that there's no upward mobility or the ability to compensate you for what's happening in inflation. And that's across the board.
And I think that's what's forming the new political movement. I want to read this statement from MTG. This is reposted by Joe Kent. There is a new lane that is forming, made up of people from the right and the left that are fed up with both parties because both parties have failed the average American. The new center shares a common America First perspective and arguably could be bigger than both parties. Americans who no longer want to fund foreign wars, want the hard-earned dollars they work for to comfortably afford a good life, and want corrupt elites like the Epstein class held accountable. These are the basic common ground issues that bring independent-minded, common-sense Americans together. And it's the most refreshing thing happening, mostly among the younger generations, to organically be happening in America in a very long time after so many years of toxic political divide. We need to lean into this. United we stand, divided we fall. And let me show you what that is a callback to.
It is the movement.
Yeah, but let me show you some political art. And this comes from Benjamin Franklin.
Oh.
So like this is the original statement about the colonies, right?
Yep.
They got to join together or they're going to die separately. So this is a very old idea. And that's why we always say the answer to 1984 is 1776. And we don't have to invent some radical new political system to figure this out or to make it all work. We have the building blocks to fix this already. And it was very cool. It's been very cool. We've done it a couple times to talk to the LaRouche people and to talk to Jose and to talk to Dennis and talk to everyone else that was on the stream.
Yeah.
But particularly them, because he makes the point, you know, if everyone knew the preamble of the Constitution, do you think we'd live in a world like this? I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the point that I was making yesterday. I think yes, but also, again, we've gotten to a point where we have TikTok brain to a certain extent, right? Like you talk about the reading level. You also need to talk about the attention span level because of the fact that
Constitution for kids, someone had to have made that. We got to find that. We got to find like a children's Constitution show.
I mean, look, if you read the Constitution, it's like a lot of jargon that people don't quite understand, and they wrote very eloquently. Like people don't even learn how to do cursive anymore. By the way, right?
Can you write cursive?
Yeah, I can write.
Yeah,
cursive.
I can write cursive.
I was I feel like we were part of the last wave of people.
Elementary school.
Hey, for anybody in the chat, are your kids being taught cursive anymore, or is there any teachers in the chat?
Yeah, the real test. Do you know how to write a G? Do you know how to write a G?
Yes.
Most people don't. So, wow, yeah, cursive. I hadn't even thought about that. Now that's a foreign concept. It'll just be iPad. You won't even they'll hold a pen like this.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say on that is just like, you know, you have to make it easy. This is the point I was making last night. You have to make it easy for people to understand their rights and what they can do. They actually rely on complexity in the system, right? like if you want to file a complaint for something or you want to make a change happen, it's normally a long, extensive process that people aren't willing to do.
Right.
Like we're used to having Amazon delivery next day. People are not going to have the patience to go through this web portal and they make these instructions complicated. So you kind of have to have an overhauling of the system so that people know their rights, but also know how to easily act on them at the same time.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing is like a court process will take years, and people are like, what?
Yeah.
And that's where the lawyer gets you, is because the lawyer's someone that's prepared to talk for years, prepared to argue for years. And they know the average citizen isn't willing to do that. And they kind of beat you into submission with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go ahead and show this, because this is why the war has been on pause, or kind of has quieted down a little bit. Trump is going to China and he's bringing all the top money people with him. All right. And this is just some of them: Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Larry Fink, the Boeing CEO, Robert Kelly. Let's go ahead and show the whole list here. Apple.
Ooh, the Avengers.
Yeah, look, it's the Legion of Doom. It's the Legion of Doom. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. Give me a second. We talk for a second.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah. I mean, look, I see, Elon Musk and Tim Cook there. Well, I don't understand why they're putting Tim Cook there, because he's been replaced by the new CEO. Maybe the new CEO is going to be running things. But look, this whole thing going to China, it can be nothing burger, or there's some real progression here.
Yeah, so I obtained footage of the summit. I went forward in the future. Actually, no, this is the meeting they had before they decided to go to China. I want to play this for people.
Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
The meeting will come to order. The Legion of Doom is now in session. It is the purpose of the Legion to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world. To do this, we have
Minions, we shall take the world.
That's literally what's going on. So I just thought that was funny. Because like these people, this is who represents America. Like, this is our political delegation that we send over there. We send people with the money, because that's who really runs the
country. Billionaires are a perfect representation of you and I, Rex. Stop it. You're being racist.
I am being racist. I apologize.
Okay, so let's see who's on this list. Goldman Sachs. Wow.
Yeah, Goldman Sachs, Illumina, MasterCard, Meta, Micron, Qualcomm, quantum computing stuff,
Visa,
Tesla, aerospace. And I don't understand, like what's the sell to Xi? Like, they're like, please give us rare earth minerals so we continue to make our products so that we can go to war with you. What's going on?
Here's the thing.
What do you think?
I think we're realizing that China's starting to win some of this race, because it is an invisible race right now, and they are competing in markets and surpassing us. And so, we're like, okay, well, maybe if you pump the brakes just a little bit so that we can keep, advancing and catching up, and maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle. I think this is also like a play, like you said, for the minerals, but also a lot of other things that we don't have. I mean, renewable energy too. That's a very big thing, and they're making a ton of money.
Solar.
They figured out solar. They're actually replacing most of their oil with this renewable energy.
That's not true. You can look up their giant, I think it's the Gobi Desert fields and everything that they have set up.
Yes, and they're the biggest exporter of renewable energy. So, I mean, China's been silently winning this war.
They're already, I would say, the dominant world power. What the United States still has control of is the global financial system because of the dollar, right? So I was watching Lawrence Wilkerson. Actually, no, it was Richard Wolff. I was watching him talk about this, in like the early 2000s or late 90s, all the biggest banks were in the West, right? And that's where the financial power was. Now the four biggest banks are all Chinese.
That's also the same with aerospace, right?
Really?
It used to be that, airlines. Like airlines, United States used to dominate airlines. Now it's kind of exported across the rest of the world, where I think we're not even in the top 5 for airlines. So
the country that invented the plane, Think about that. And that's why it's so embarrassing to be behind like the modern context. People often say like, well, China's 4,000 years old. America's 250. China's going to win, whatever. Did they invent the car? Did they invent the nuke? Did they invent the internet? Did they invent the plane? No, they didn't. And we did that.
Yeah, we did that. And here's the best part. If you're talking about China here, we did China a favor by going to war because everybody wants to now not be reliant on oil because of the shocks to their country. So what are they going to do? Invest in renewable energy that doesn't rely on the strait for their resources. So that money goes directly to China. And it means, our GDP is going to continue to increase.
And that's also the direct defeat of the dollar, because if they're not buying as much oil, then they're not using as much U.S. currency.
And the petrodollar, which is actually the main vehicle now, because
That's
we're
like
no
stage
longer
5 cancer. It's like
we're
dead.
We're no longer on the gold standard, and you can't do anything about a fiat currency. The petrodollar is truly the last frontier when it comes down to the protection of the dollar, in my opinion.
Absolutely. What else is on your mind? I got some more stuff to find too.
I mean, I've got a video that talks about the
Is it in the drive?
I sent it to you on X. It talks about, is the United States military on a decline? Is it losing its edge?
I have it. It's a YouTube video.
We'll start with the quote. The U.S. military always...
He's always immediate.
Yeah,
I subscribe to him now.
Yeah, he does excellent videos. So we'll watch a little bit. You guys might.
No, we'll play it. We'll play it.
All right, let's go ahead and play it.
We'll start with the quote. The U.S. military always losing its edge. After Iran, everyone knows it. That was the explosive headline of a recent opinion piece published by the New York Times editorial board, making precisely the sort of allegation that nobody in the US government wants to hear. In its piece, the board argued that because the US spends around $1 trillion a year on its military, more than 100 times as much as Iran, and has access to advanced weapons technologies that Iranian generals can only dream about, Washington should have had an overwhelming victory in the war. During the first week of the war, the US seemed on track to do exactly that. America and Israel were able to eliminate much of Iran's senior leadership and a lot of its military infrastructure. And it's not just the military. The combined forces have also wreaked havoc on Iran's economy, targeting fuel storage centers, steel plants, and pharmaceutical facilities alike. Yet Tehran has managed to extract its pound of flesh. It has attacked American allies, including the UAE, in the middle of a ceasefire. It has denied the whole world the ability to use the Strait of Hormuz, and has threatened to put tolls on one of the most critical waterways in the world. Perhaps most importantly, Iran was able to attack multiple American bases across the Middle East. Analysis of satellite imagery by the Washington Post revealed that since the war began, Iranian airstrikes have damaged or destroyed at least 228 structures or pieces of equipment in the region, including fuel depots, aircraft, and key radar, communications, and air defense equipment. The destruction is far greater than anything Washington had publicly admitted to or anything that has previously been reported. This, and the fact that Iran has essentially forced the US into a position where it has to negotiate in order to achieve its war objectives, has led a lot of people, not just the New York Times editorial board, to question whether the US has lost its edge. So, is it true? Is the American military unprepared for modern war? Well, the American military is, without a doubt,
Well, I just want to pause it for a second because I think I know some of what he's going to get into here. And like, the thing is, these other nations like Russia or China, they have been preparing for like a 21st century conflict. And
especially China.
Yeah. And then we're kind of like, we're like France in World War II. We have like the mounted, mounted riders and stuff still, and the tanks are coming. That's kind of like the example
yes
I'd give.
and no. So we still, because of our spending on the military, have just been investing in these crazy technologies. But the problem is they're so expensive.
That's the thing. They're prohibitively expensive.
Right. So like if you're talking about like what China has been focusing on is like, okay, well, let's create drone swarms because you can't do anything about that. I can take 100 drones and probably sink your multi-billion-dollar ship.
Right.
And so it really doesn't matter how advanced that thing is if it's something small can take it out.
It really is amazing we haven't had a world war yet. At least not like an active one where it's
This
openly
is
declared. I think we're in one.
If you look at history, just like in World War II leading up to it, there was always these small conflicts that kept breaking out among smaller countries or really bigger countries where not everybody was involved.
Well, look at Japan and China. Like that's happening.
all
Yeah.
the other stuff is
So
happening.
that's kind of like you see some of the breadcrumbs of previous. It's like always years worth of these like conflicts, smaller conflicts that turn into this one larger one.
I think the Chinese beat like 2/3 of like the Japanese military.
Not at the beginning.
But at the end.
They
I'm talking about during the over the course
well,
of the war.
we helped them towards the end as well.
Didn't they push them out of like
Manchuria, yeah, but like Japan before the whole United States got involved, they were dominating China because China didn't really have a military like that.
Sure.
So that's why you had like the rape of Nanking, all of those different things happen, and that was silently happening on that region of the world before the real influx of World War II.
We funded the nationalist Chiang Kai-shek, who then left and founded what we now know as Taiwan or the Republic of China, and then the Russians backed Mao and gave him military means, and he took mainland China, and the United States recognized Taiwan as a part of mainland China starting in 1971. We continue to give them military aid. It's this weird thing, right, where it's like we're not at war, we've been at war for 47 years. We recognize
it's an excursion.
Exactly.
It's a vacation.
That's a trip.
It's a trip.
But I'll play the video. Good points.
The single most powerful military on the planet. Much of that comes from spending vast sums on advanced systems, jets, missiles, submarines, and other technologies that allow Washington to project its power across much of the world in just seconds. Fifth-generation planes like the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning or America's B-2 Spirit stealth bomber are so advanced that very few countries have anything that can come close to equaling them. The nuclear-powered Virginia-class submarines are extremely stealthy, carrying out highly sensitive intelligence missions while equipped with Tomahawk cruise missiles. And speaking of missiles, America boasts one of the most extensive missile arsenals on the planet, ranging from the aforementioned Tomahawk, a long-range all-weather subsonic cruise missile used for precision strikes against high-value targets, to the Dark Eagle, a newly developed, long-range hypersonic weapon. We're listing all of these not only because our Warfronts team are quite openly a bunch of nerds, but to point out just how much advanced firepower the US has at its disposal. But even though all of these are extremely impressive, a lot of experts believe they are better suited for yesterday's battlefield than today's. Today's battlefield is the domain of drones, a shift that began following Russia's war against Ukraine. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022, the expectation among most observers was that Ukraine's air defenses would be gone within days. Russia had one of the largest air forces on the planet, and the assumption was that it would simply grind down everything in its path. But this didn't happen. Ukrainian defenders
Yeah, so I mean,
Got a point?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, I haven't even really watched this video. Like,
the asymmetric
warfare. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, I mean, what happened was Ukraine and Russia became kind of the first time that we could see what modern warfare looked like. It was really a testing ground, if you think about it. That's why we sent so much money and military assets out there, because they're like, well, there's no better time to test that billion-dollar missile that's just been collecting dust because we had no real reason.
We got to use it. We got to find a reason to order more. Yeah, it's crazy. That's like someone like they're selling you products like, look, we want you to use these, so you have to order more. You're like, well, isn't using them the worst case scenario?
Of course not.
Yeah, like
double tapping schools
is
for
the bad guys.
Yes, it's for the bad guys, right?
That's always the example. That's the thing is like, how was the United States military supposed to do missile defense for itself, for Israel, for other allied nations, when the CNN figure, which I think is not true, I think it's much more, we've used half of all our interceptors that exist.
And it takes a long time for those to be replenished.
Yes. Right. Yeah. They make hundreds of those a year, not thousands. So like that's what you're talking about. And when they're expensing these things, we've all watched the footage. It's boom, 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 all day, all night, all the time in the sky. It was so bad that we pulled the missiles from South Korea, from Japan. We said, hey, we gave you these to defend yourselves. We really need them over here because we don't have enough of them.
Japan was not happy about that, and South Korea.
But then the Iranians, they can spend 15 grand and they can build a Shaheed and they can float into a Dubai tower and they can destroy an economy. So like, who has more power? Sure, the other side has more firepower, more resources.
And here's like the best and worst part. China is almost self-sufficient.
Right.
It produces almost everything
that
you would need in order to like build massive
Food and oil are
factories.
their only issues, and they got Russia right there.
Right. They've
So-
got Russia right there, but they have the manufacturing power. They figured out how to automate a lot of things, but also use that the billion people that they have there to actually run these factories. Like you're talking about, like, yeah, the raw natural resources, all of that, right?
And it's also the skilled work base, right? Or like the workforce, I should say. Like the you
Yeah, they're not stupid. They're very smart.
Yeah, no, indeed. And you got people that, like, my goal as a citizen of China, to be a Chinese citizen, is to make China better. How often do Americans?
Well, they've
think
got
that way?
an
We don't. We
they've
don't.
got
We
an
don't.
extreme
Yeah.
sense of nationalism over there.
Sure.
Right? They actually care about their country. And the difference between how people grow up in Asia versus in America is kind of black and white. If you
work now,
yeah,
you study now.
No, they do. Like I have a ton of
I've
Asian
seen it.
friends.
I play
and
tennis. I know.
They're normally not like doing after school programs. No, you're going home and you're studying for like the next 5 hours so that you can get the best grades possible. Anything less than a 95 is shame on the family.
They do it in sports too, just like the white collar ones,
Right.
You know, like I've seen this.
And here, you know,
you don't want to lose a tennis match. You get punished for that.
And here, you know, I've seen some of my people growing up, and I've seen people growing up, and their parents are like, "Well, Jimmy, it's okay if you don't want to go and
what matters
study.
is what you believe.
You could do anything if you try. Yeah, if you want to go play esports all day, you can go do that, Jimmy.
Right.
If you want that art history degree, here you go, Jimmy."
And so I have literally seen that. So yeah, I mean, you're literally developing your brain power right there as it stands to be able to compete in any market. And that's a scary thing, guys.
That's a good point. And that's to just go to a point of like how screwed up our public education system is.
It's
like,
cooked.
Well, like when my granddad went to school, they learned how to weld, they learned how to shoot, they learned carpentry, they learned like agriculture, like civics. It's just so many different things. And think about how fun school could actually be if it actually profited you to go there.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Unless you're like in a state like Massachusetts, which I think is like number 1 or 2 or 3 in education, and you know you're in like kind of one of these affluent towns which they have public school, a lot of these regions, their public schools are dookie, right? The only reason why I went to private school as a kid because of the fact that the schools were so bad. And I know some people are like, "Oh, how'd you afford public school and you were so broke?" They gave me, because I was black, like this massive scholarship because they realized like we need to try to at least give some people. So it was almost like an affirmative action.
It was
thing.
available.
It was available, right? They were covering like 90+% of the tuition costs, because otherwise it's like $30,000 a year to go to the school.
Right. Well, here, you know, like AISD is really bad. Like the students, they just leave and they go down to Lady Bird Lake and they like smoke weed and fight each other. But Westlake is like that. Like Westlake, they have 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks. That's how much money they put into their athletic team. Like that is like the image in your mind of like, you know, what like a white, like all-American type high school would be. Like they have that there, but you see the funding because there are other schools like Lake Travis, like AISD that I talked about that are shitholes.
Right.
And it's about the money.
And here's the thing. You can't go to like a random public school that's outside of like your jurisdiction. So unless you can afford that $2 to $3 million house, there's no shot that your kid's going to be able to go to that good public school.
Right.
So it is an inefficient system. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. Like I'm seeing some of the people that are coming out being teachers now. And I remember my teacher was like 25 years old. If I want a Gen Z 25, I mean, it might even be old, younger than that. If I want a Gen Z 25-year-old teaching my kid now, I don't know about that.
Hold on. I got an idea. Give me 1 second.
I don't know about that. We got some real, like these are OnlyFans girls sometimes teaching your kids, guys. You want an OF girl teaching your little son Timmy?
Well,
now not all of them are that way.
Here's the thing. Don't want to discount anybody's career.
Of course
maybe
not.
You want to avoid some hands-on education that maybe shouldn't happen. Here's the thing, dude.
I'm going to teach you about like you want to learn about biology. I'm going to teach you about Riz. I sent you the assignment over on your iPad, dude. You have to like do it like 2 months or something. Okay. I don't want to fail you. I don't want to be a dick. Okay. No one's trying to be a dick here, bro. But you have to learn the alphabet. You're in 8th grade. That's
okay. So here's today's class on how to mog.
Yeah,
exactly. You gotta outmug everybody.
You gotta mug everybody. It turns into the Trump. I gotta get off my head.
Today's class is on looks maxing.
Exactly. Well, I mean, and that's the thing though, is like you see this, and like this is like what kids say their number one aspiration is just to be a streamer. They don't want to be doctor, lawyer, firefighter, educator. Like they don't. It's not about that.
It's not about that. But also, like, it's not really appealing to be a teacher when you look at the wage to be a teacher and all of the stuff that you have to put up with. The only teachers who like it's like the good ROI is if you're in that rich town, because some of them are actually making 6 figures. But like a regular public school that doesn't have like a ton of funding is probably making like 40 to 50K, and they're dealing with the same bull crap.
Look at what we're talking about here. We're talking about humans, how inefficient they are, the problems they cause, how expensive they are. Why don't you let the robot teach your kid? What Grok, Professor Grok will teach your child.
Good morning, kids.
Teach your child about why he should buy a Tesla when he turns 16.
Yeah.
Like, imagine getting ads at school, like brought to you by Burger King. This algebra equation is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, we probably get there at some point. But just to bring it full circle, the whole reason why we're talking about that is because when you think about China versus America and you think about the technological advancements, right? It really does come down to how is the younger generation being brought up to actually fill in the workforce that's going to accomplish these tasks and be the brains behind those operations. So I'm very curious what happens after, the millennials start getting to the older point, and you got like we're kind of on the older point. What are the younger kids who are going to create the next version of America? What is it going to be?
We're the early part of Gen Z. You think about like the later part of Gen Z.
6'7", 6'7".
You're 1998, right?
Yeah, I'm 98.
Yeah, so it's 97 is the cutoff. So you're not a millennial.
I'm not. I'm Gen Z.
Gen Z, and then I'm 2002. Right? You think about that, dude. Imagine somebody born in like 2010 teaching your children. Literally doing Fortnite dances. This is how I keep the students engaged. You're like, well, I guess it works, but I would not like to live in that society. Someone said, I think it was somebody up here. They said that in Alabama, it's 37 or 36K to be a teacher.
Oh,
so
how do you even live? Because I know Alabama's. It's not like you're at like $2 a gallon for gas. Your prices are the same. Like these companies charge the same for Chipotle, whether you're in Alabama or whether you're here in Austin, Texas. It might be $1 difference, but how do you survive on $37? I am sorry.
You don't.
37K.
I think we're going to get into that because in the third hour, here in like 20, 30 minutes, we're going to take calls from you guys. We want to talk about affordability. We want to hear from you the specific difficulties that you're encountering.
Yes,
what do you want to hear?
I just want to, with the market sentiment being at record lows,
right?
I want to hear anecdotal stories and understand what is it that you guys are dealing with, right? We can sit here and grope all day, but gripe all day about what we're struggling with, but every single person that's watching this show has their own struggle. So we'd be curious to hear like what's going on. What do you remember from the good old days?
And
what is it like for you now?
I want to hear about people that are in kind of like specialized careers and like the waste, fraud, and abuse that they've seen build up. I want to see what that's like. I think that's also a good prompt. So just really want to keep it on the economy today because we know that's what everyone's thinking about. I mean, I was looking at the chat. And we're talking about like China and weapons and stuff. People talk about gas, because that's what affects people. But before we get into all that, we'll go back to the video a little bit too. Want to tell you guys about the products that support the show. As you guys know, I've really been trying to do my best job plugging because you guys need to know about these things. We've got some amazing formulas on goprimalcore.com. If you want to support the Gray Area Project, the Gray Area Network, what we do on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, Tuesday on the morning, and then Sunday and Thursday in the evening, go to goprimalcore.com and look up these ingredients in PubMed, look up these ingredients in Google Scholar, look up these ingredients using whatever AI engine you want to, Uncensored AI, whatever, ChatGPT, whatever, how it works, everything you got here together. Let me show you. These are all the ideal minerals that you're not getting that you need in the ideal forms and ratios. You got zinc picolinate, boron citrate, selenium methionine, magnesium glycinate, copper, and vitamin D3.
Now, you might ask, I've heard a lot of those things before. What's up with the boron and what's up with the copper? So what you've got to understand about the boron, a lot of people don't know this, it's pretty much the safest, best way to raise testosterone and free testosterone just acutely and chronically. You should have enough of it in your diet already. Also contributes to very strong bones, right? So a lot of these formulas, especially, this is a unisex thing. This is great for both men and women. And this goes to that point. A lot of these formulas, they try to sell you for like male vitality or whatever. And a lot of the ingredients are good and whatnot, but they're like luteinizing hormone mimetics, right? Like Tonkat Ali is a LH mimetic. So that's creating some sort of feedback loop in you. And that may stop working or have kind of like the opposite effect after a certain period of time. That's why it's best to cycle stronger things like that. But stuff like this, Tim, I mean, these are just minerals. And explain what that meant to you, because you're a very clean cut guy. You're very cautious about what you're putting in your body. What do you think about what we did here?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is, a lot of people are trying to sell you supplements that have like either synthetic things in them, things that are like not naturally modified. And so, when I looked at these formulations for Rex, I said, hey, I want you to make sure that you can kind of build these in a way that just holds the ethos of the brand, but also something that I can take, because I don't want to be taking something that hasn't been around or been tested for a very long time by humans before us. So everything that you're seeing, the reason why it's called elemental drive is because they are elements that your body produces, that actually consumes from the food that you get. Now, a lot of people are not eating the right things today, because obviously sometimes it is harder to, buy a bunch of fruits and vegetables. People are on the go. It's very busy. So often we're deficient in certain aspects. And, that's why I started taking these, because it's really hard to like sit there and cook a good meal and get all the nutrients we need. So that's why I take Elemental Drive.
Even then, the soil is depleted. You have to use an app like Chronometer and stuff to like track, like, I ate this plant, I ate this vegetable, this fruit had this amount of micronutrient in it. Like, we really should, like, it's so simple. I had this thought the other day, like, we should just sell potassium, because like potassium, you need to get like almost 5 grams of it a day. Nearly like nobody hits the requirement for potassium. So that's super important. Elemental Drive, people see 39, they go, that's a little expensive. We got 30% off, $27.97. And when you subscribe, or when you give us your email, you get 15% off.
Also, if you use the code CORE25, you can get 25% off. So
there's a lot of incentive here, guys. Use the codes, check it out. That's goprimalcore.com. We're going to be working with a lot more people. We got a lot more interesting things coming down the pipe. Really care about this brand. Really want you guys to take it, because it's going to improve your life. And that's me making a claim, because I know it's true. So get the highest quality ashwagandha, highest quality multi-mineral blend. I like to say male, but it's unisex. It's for anybody and everybody. Just everything you need. Get Elemental Drive and Ultimate Ashwagandha in the Core Fusion pack. Now, I'm going to do an ad read for the Sleepy Time product. If you guys take a melatonin out there, if you're going to a store and you're buying melatonin, you're buying magnesium, maybe you're buying a valerian root, chamomile, whatever, you can get everything you need for sleep, which is 50 milligrams full spectrum CBD, 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin, and then 50 to 100 milligrams of German CO2 extracted blue chamomile, all for $37.95. These are 2010's prices. Nobody else has this on CBD. If you're looking for CBD, Jones CBD is the place to be. I've got Dreamwave, of course, with that incredible value. I've got Ultra Green, which is the emulsify. That means it's water soluble. It's a nano CBD, incredibly bioavailable. Key thing to remember about these two formulas, the Dreamwave and the Ultra Chill, is I use CO2 ginger root extract on this one, and I use CO2 blue chamomile extract in this one. Why do I use those two ingredients in the formula? Well, for oil-based CBD, the regular kind of like golden stuff that you're used to seeing, you got to leave it under your tongue for at least 15 minutes to get an effect, because it's got to go through sublingual administration. You can squirt it down, still get like 10, 20% of the effect. That's fine. But for people that really want, that greater than 50% bioavailability, you're going to want to do sublingual administration. And I made this formula so you brush your teeth at night, you wash your mouth out at night. When you're done with that, you put this under your tongue, add a little bit of water, tastes like you just drank a big old cup of tea, tastes amazing, lie down, fall asleep, go to dreamland. And that's why I got it. Dreamwave, Ultra Green, and then Ultra Chill. This is my dad's favorite formula. A little expensive. My dad really likes it. Also on 50percentoff.com, if you're not a CBD user, but you still want help with your sleep, I've got the best. I've got the classic, time-honored, time-proven, sold hundreds of thousands of units over a decade plus of lifetime, now reformulated under my new label. It's a completely different product, but it's the same new product that you're used to. Ultimate knockout sleep support. Look at these ingredients: valerian root, L-tryptophan, melatonin, excuse me, lemon balm leaf extract, chamomile flower extract, magnesium, GABA, L-theanine. Literally everything you need in the proper forms to get the best sleep possible. That's Knockout Sleep Support on 50percentoff.com. Got a lot of other products on there as well. If you're going to buy toothpaste, everybody uses toothpaste. Might as well consider trying some of the fluoride-free that I have, the Super Blue. Got it available. I've also got some wound gel on here. So that's 50percentoff.com. That's jonescbd.com. But if you really want to support Gray Area and this show specifically, go to goprimalcore.com and check out the amazing offers we have. And people that are subscribed to this product specifically really like it. Everyone loves ashwagandha. They know what it is. They trust in it because it's been used for thousands of years. But you need these minerals already. So buy this product, support the show.
Thank you, guys.
Really appreciate it.
Someone was asking in the chat, deep dive. No, I'm not doing a deep dive today. I know that's what you guys
I know, but
come here for.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
In.
Here's the thing. Like, I am working very hard in the background to make stuff happen because, you know, this operation takes resources.
Yes.
So all of my effort and energy has been, okay, how do we allow us to give us the best opportunity to give you guys the best content? Sorry, you hate that word.
It's okay. It's fine.
The best media possible.
Yes, yes.
And so, like, I'm just working on trying to figure out
That was very
solutions.
considerate of you. I appreciate it. That actually is a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, like, that's really what I've been focused on. So, like, my brain has not been able to. I did a deep dive on Sunday, so I didn't have enough time to prepare one for today. But the goal is going Tuesdays. I will be coming in here with a deep dive to give you guys, because I know not everybody's an evening person and they are a morning person. That's why some of you who should be watching Gray Area
in the evening.
I see all of you,
or at least subscribing. All right, and you know that's we got to throw the Gray Area YouTube up really quick. I'm logged into it already, but
because
go ahead.
You guys know exactly who I am because I was with this man on the American Journal.
Yes, and here we go.
And if you guys love us, then you better be supporting us at the same time. But I will be here on Tuesdays. Which is
and
nice,
what we mean by supporting us, just hit the subscribe button. You don't gotta buy anything. Just subscribe. All right, we got like 2,500 people in here. It's the easiest thing to do in the world. We're live Thursday, Sunday. We get amazing guests on Sunday. We've had a ton of people on already. I mean, here's the thing.
It's not only on YouTube. Literally,
Rumble
if you go
everywhere.
if you literally go into Rex's bio right now, which is probably where most of you guys are watching.
Tim is there and Gray Area is there.
It literally is in his bio. It says Gray Area and it says me. Give me a follow. Give
It's a
Gray
shared
Area a follow.
ecosystem, guys, and vice versa. If you came over here from him, follow me. Follow me now.
Right. So the main channel is Gray Area Talks on his bio. You can click that. It has the links to everything.
Yeah,
The
but
Rumble,
look
the
at all this.
YouTube.
Look at all the work we've done.
Oh, dude.
Look
We've
at all the
been
work
putting
we've
in
done,
work.
dude. Yeah, and you guys, like, these are all super fun to rewatch. I rewatch them all the time. Look at how many times I've been rewatched. So go check these out. Go check out Gray Area Talks. We're doing this for you guys, and that's why, like, I'm going to reduce my overhead. I'm going to do a lot of things. Me and Tim, we have lives outside of this. And the thing is, we know all of you guys do too. And that's why I feel like we come at this from much more like original, honestly, like respectable way of doing broadcasting. It's like we're working. You know, and a lot of these people, they just like, this is their job.
It is their job. You're right.
Yeah. And this is a labor of love for us.
Bro, after I'm done with this stream, I'm going right to work.
Right.
It's like, you know, but I really do love you guys. All the growth that you guys have allowed us to just get even opportunities to talk to people.
It's amazing.
It comes from you guys subscribing. It comes from you guys reposting and following.
Share it.
The algorithm is
Share
doing
it.
its work as you guys are sharing our content. So we really appreciate
everything we make, with the exception of sponsors and ad stuff that we get to do. Everything that we make is owned by you. It's all free to air. We want you to clip us, remix us, make edits, do whatever. Okay. Take the show and spread it. That's how my dad got so big. It's just by giving people that message. Hey, if you like the information, just go give it to people. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. You say, hey, I found these shows. These guys are talking about what we've been talking about. Maybe you've been having conversations with your friends, with your family that are like this. give them a place to go because we're trying to build consciousness together.
Yes. And you know what, Rex? We could have sold our souls a long time ago and been super controversial and put out the slop, and just like be super polarizing. You know what would get me so much traction? If I just started nagging on black people and I just started,
that's a whole industry.
And I just started being like, you're chimping out and all that stuff. You know, we would
talk about
we
that.
would grow. Chud the Bob the Builder over there.
Let's talk about that. Wild. Okay, I saw the video. I saw Charleston White react to it, and I had known who Chud was, but I hadn't seen that in a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
it's been
I saw
hot.
Charleston White react to it. I mean, that's like, you want to talk about careers? Hey, you're a doctor, lawyer. Fuck that. Go say the N-word.
Go say the N-word. Go walk up to black people and just say whatever you want and instigate. Right? Hard R. Right?
It's wild. But
tell your local neighbor that he's chimping out.
It's wild.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy,
but again, the whole point is we're trying to give you guys value here, not slop.
And
without being partisan in terms of giving you a right or left spin, it really is. We care about bringing the truth, and that's the whole ethos of the Gray Area and the New American Journal.
And this is the thing is, we come together, we have differences, we have disagreements, whatever. We don't hate each other. We love each other because we're supposed to love each other. We're Americans. Like that's what it comes down to. And all of the polarization that we've witnessed, all the events now we've gone to, and the things that we've seen, is taught us one thing: we're the realist in the game. Absolute realist in the game.
Nothing, no censorship. No one's sitting here telling us we're not. Here's the thing: you're not hearing controversial stuff from us because that's not what we believe.
We're just sharing the truth.
We're just telling the truth.
We're just trying to tell the truth. And, you know, sometimes we have different truths. We argue, you know, we figure things out. But that's the beauty of the Socratic discussion. That's the beauty of dialogue. I roll out of bed and I come down here. I set up the studio after I let the dog out. And then I just come sit down. I get to talk to you guys every morning. And now Tuesday, we're back doing the same thing. So we love you and we appreciate you. It means the world that you're here with us. I want to show this because it just popped up on my feed. It's crazy. And then we'll get into the call-in portion of the show here shortly. Jeffrey Epstein and someone from the Rothschild family discussed the coup in Ukraine. This is what I always talk about.
Right on coup, baby.
In 2014, Epstein, the coup in Ukraine should provide many opportunities. Many. Rothschild, I miss our conversations and hope you're doing well. I'll be home tomorrow evening. We'll be free. And let's discuss Ukraine. Do we want this guy making decisions?
Yes, sir.
The vampire?
Wow.
The crypt keeper?
Real elites.
This is why, Tim. This is why we do the deep dive on Ukraine.
Hi, Jeff. Very long day sitting on the bank board. Well, he's really in tune.
Numbers are okay, but not satisfactory to me. And I'm putting you under pressure to be more innovative about asset management funds while restructuring, inspiring people.
I'm at a dinner with a client, fed up. I missed our talks and hope you're well. We'll be at home tomorrow night. Are you free? And let's discuss Ukraine. And then, Ukraine upheaval should provide many opportunities. Many.
You know what the Epstein files all they did was reveal to me. They revealed the exact thing that we all were kind of thinking about how some of these dark elite people who have an extreme amount of power think and function.
Absolutely.
And I have gone on the record with this. If they can do these things on the Epstein files and say all these different things, right? Just think about what they do when they make the economic decisions and, you know, the things that actually affect the average American. They're never going to have your best interest in mind because it's not about that for them.
Sure.
You know, it's not giving the best ROI, the best high. You know, these people are looking for thrill all the time because they're so bored, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and how could you be bored on planet Earth? And that's what I don't understand. It's like, how could you be bored?
You know how, like, when you play GTA and you just like you beat the campaign level and you got all the money, you got the jet, you got the car, you got, like, I've gone through that. I'm like, I'm bored. You just start blowing stuff up next.
That's so true.
That's what you start doing. You start going around with the tank and you just start blowing things up because you've already beat the game.
That's got to be there's some psychological concept word for that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
I had
smarter than us.
I had the 10. I had like the $50 million yacht that you could get, like the just biggest one in the game. I had all the houses. I had all the cars. I'm like, I'm bored. I'm just going to start blowing up civilians and just destroying all the other GTA players.
That's literally Trump. He's like, I don't know. I won twice. I guess I got to go to war. Like, no, dude.
Yeah.
No, but it is a thing. It's where it's the meme where you have the dog sitting inside the house and like everything's fine. He's like, this is terrible. And the house is on fire. And he's like, this is fine.
Yep.
That's a psychological. I'm experiencing that myself right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to downsize and shit.
Yes.
And but like you got to realize that it's that sunk cost fallacy that like sticking with the elite, sticking with this ruling class that doesn't care about you. Like a part of it is like we do give our consent. You know, we do give our consent by being like, hey, I'm not going to talk to my friends about this. I'm not going to talk to my family about this. I'm not going to listen to this newscast because it might be upsetting to me. That's been happening to me. And it's been on topics that I've heard a lot on. So I think I have more of a reason to be like, just again, like, please get it away from me. But like refusing to hear information, you know?
Well, don't you think like part of that is because we are so highly distracted today in society?
Sure. Absolutely.
So if you distract and you create more things that people are just like not really paying attention to, and you kind of like point their anger or their thing in this direction, you're never really going to have those discussions or be able, like, most people don't know how to actually contact their local representative.
Sure.
Right? Like most people don't know that they have access to all of these different tools that can allow them to make a movement, because it's not just information that's easily available for people.
And I've seen so many instances of brutal racial violence on X, black on white, white on black, you name it, whatever. But seeing particularly a lot of black on white, and that's fed on your feed to be like, hey, there's this struggle going on. There's this fight going on right now. And you need to pay attention to that while we rape you, while we rob you, while we build the robots.
It's so interesting because I was talking to my business partners over last week, and I was like, what does your X algorithm look like? Like, oh, it's just a bunch of crypto, business, finance, music stuff. I'm like, really? How?
Because the second you get political,
I was like, wait,
worst.
how?
It's like the worst stuff.
I was like, I wake up every morning and it's Groyper this and Fuentes that, and it's exploded building, Trump this, and Lindsey Graham that. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, dude, you just got to do a cleanse of your algorithm. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, think about the vast majority of people are never going to do a cleanse on their algorithm, and like they're subjected to it forever. And I don't know.
It's a lot of work.
I don't know what TikTok is like because I haven't had TikTok for a very long time. But I imagine like this kind of gets back to the original point that you were making about the illiteracy and the short form content addiction. We really do need to like do things for kids, you know, for the adults, because the adults are the children.
Yeah. The way TikTok and Instagram are, they're not really serious like X. X is its own like ecospace. You go on Instagram and TikTok just to laugh, or like you might get like some educational form, but for the most part, it's not that serious. And that was the biggest distinction that I've seen. So,
right.
We are when do you want to do
we can
calls?
do call-in portion. I'll go ahead and launch it here. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and,
so we want to talk to you guys about the current state of the economy, since we've all seen the news that's been coming out and that we are at all-time highs when it comes to sentiment, and we are all super happy. We're all super happy with what's going on, and we're just, everyone's got money and stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, I got you.
You are connected as the host.
We want to
welcome host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Do that. You don't have to do that. I wish you wouldn't do that.
Ooh, this is new.
Yeah, no, they made it better.
Okay.
You don't have to do that whole like clicky thingy anymore.
Okay. Yeah,
so
they
I can
improved
just read
it.
the number out.
Yeah. So, we want to talk to you guys. We want to know about like what's going on. Please call if you have like, something that you used to do or you can't do anymore, or like what is the situation?
Talk to us about unaffordability.
Unaffordability. That's what I want to talk about. That's what he wants to talk about. That's what we want to talk about.
Call in 512-675-7144. That's 512-675-7144. Please call in.
Let me see this.
512. Yeah, go ahead. 675-7144 to join the show. We're going to have 3 callers on the line. That's 512-675-7144.
We got callers on the board. We got Owl Killer, who's a frequent InfoWars caller. We're going to take him first. We're going to take the calls in the order that they were received. The topic is the economy and unaffordability.
Oh, yeah. We could have opened it up to more people.
Yeah, we will open it up to more people next time around. Howdy, Owl Killer.
Hey, Rex, man, you guys are doing a great job, and I enjoyed in the last the last experiences of InfoWars having you guys on in the morning, and I hope your dad brings you over to that new network because you guys both deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, I just had my first child born. You know, I was a late starter. I just had my first child born April 27th, and just looking at like the cost of formula. I'm retired military, and you know, thank God that I'm able to, you know, provide and support. I have no clue how the average person does it. I saw Bill. My wife had a C-section. My insurance, I have medical coverage. The cost was $44,000. How in the hell? I don't. Now, thank God I'm blessed where I didn't have to pay it. But how in the hell is the average person supposed to do anything or be able to afford a family? It's almost like these costs are built into life right now to basically make you not want to basically just live alone, take care of yourself, maybe go out and have fun on the weekends, but they don't want you to have a family. They don't want you to have children. And you know, I just filled up my car the other day. Right now where I am in Virginia, it's $4.49 a gallon. That is basically the difference that I'm paying. That's basically a can of formula every week in gas.
Yeah.
So it's
cost that you're saying.
Trump.
So how much is the baby formula a week? Like, what is that coming out to be?
So we'll see, because her cost right now is, I'm buying it on base. So a tub of like the Similac 360, which I guess is like the premier brand. You know, I can afford it. I'm gonna give my baby the best that I can. It's $40 on base. Off of base, it's $49.99, or I've even seen it like $53 depending on where you go. So right now it's averaging about $30 a week, but it's going to go up. So right now she's drinking about 3 ounces every 2 to 3 hours. So I'm looking at between like at the end, it's probably between $350 and $400 a month just in formula.
Wow.
So that's what I will look at the end. Right now it's about $30 a week.
And that's
so, but
that's not even like the diapers. That's not like
nothing
to take care of a baby. Wow.
Yeah, that's just the beginning stages of life. And you know, people are like, oh yeah, you're gonna get tax benefit. Yeah, dude, like, but that's like what you end up with. The tax break is like 2 months or 3 months worth of taking care of the baby. You know what I mean? So I don't know how people do it, but it makes a lot more sense why people with so many kids are on so many government assistance programs, because it's just not the same. It's not the same that when I was growing up. Now you guys were just talking about Epstein and Rothschild and Ukraine. There was another portion of an email that came out with him where he's talking to Peter Thiel, and they're saying that negative interest rates were probably too high, or 0% interest rates were probably too high, and they need to be negative. And the best place to buy things is on a collapse. Have you guys seen that email?
I have not seen that email.
I've seen that email.
It's incredible. It is incredible as to what is going on. And, you know, I think, again, I'm 42 years old. You guys are, I think you're going to end up there probably quick because of the quickening. I think you're going to end up in the same brain frame that I am at. There's no voting out of this, because at the end of the day, this is their monetary system. This is the Federal Reserve. This is the people that are, if you can print money out of thin air and give it to your buddies, it's like you print the money out of thin air, you give it to your friends, they buy up everything that's worth any value. They buy up companies, they buy up properties, they buy up any type of natural resources. And by the time that the market recognizes the influx of money, it's passed on to the consumer. And that's where the inflation comes from. And I think when people get elected, like, unless you're willing to say, we need to start over, we need a new monetary system, there's no way out of that. And I'm wondering if that, I'm sure the Epstein stuff has something to do with what's going on with Iran, but I'm wondering if Trump is like, dude, we got to figure some way to maintain this petrodollar, because if not, you're going to have a revolution on your hand inside of this country, the likes of which nobody knows what's going to happen. And the scary thing about it is go ahead.
No. We're listening. I think you're getting a good point here. So yeah, finish what.
Yeah, the scary thing is that the control grid is in place now, where whoever comes out on top it's going to be damn near impossible to overcome, especially if they're coming with robots and stuff like that. Like that's why when I look at stuff old, the Islamic invasion. Look, I'm Orthodox Christian. I know Rex is a catechumen. I'm not really worried about an Islamic invasion because at the end of the day, man, I saw we got 120 guns per 100 people. Like it's not this isn't Byzantium. It's not Europe where people like I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the control grid that's coming into place because that's basically what's up for grabs is like what group is going to control that.
Well, what I heard from your call, phenomenal call by the way. We're going to take the next one because we're short on time here. Appreciate you, Owl Killer. Thank you so much. What I'm hearing from that is that we're behind the 8 ball here. People are behind the 8 ball. All the citizens are behind the 8 ball. How are you supposed to get out in front of any of this stuff? How are you supposed to build up savings? How are you supposed to, prep for a catastrophe or a life event? Most Americans, the majority, they don't have, $1,000.
So what I hear, it is a significant issue, right? And the only way that you can hedge yourself against inflation is if you become financially literate and understand and invest.
Right.
And investing is not like the easiest thing. Like people are like, there's so many things I can put my money into. But what I tell people, and I'm not a financial expert, is because we try to do things so quickly, it also hurts us because people think like, ooh, this is going to get me money fast. This is going to allow me to finally get from out the mud and basically do something.
Right.
Really the best way, and what a lot of people do in order to hedge themselves against inflation, is they slowly invest over time consistently, right? So like this is not an endorsement. Like here's an easy thing that like people could do literally today. There's an app called Acorns. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Acorns is one of those apps that allows you to actually take your money.
Not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor. I would love to be sponsored by them because I truly believe in this app. I put it on to so many people. It's investing in the market on your behalf. And what it does is it takes like, let's say you buy something for $1.50, right?
Rounds it up.
It rounds it up to $2. It takes that 50 cents and it puts it in the market. It's one of these unconscious ways of slowly stacking and building in the market. And you can see, yeah, you can. I have a Bitcoin ETF that I'm also, that also is pulling in 4% of my portfolio and putting it in there.
I'll talk to you about
it's
that.
unconscious spending. And then if you do like, okay, well, I'll do the roundups plus $5 a day, you'll find that you actually, it's a cup of coffee that you don't miss. And you actually finding that like, okay, I'm actually building a nest egg for myself later on. And, if there's really an emergency, you can always have access and take that money out. It's not like a difficult process. Like, if you have something else that you're investing in, that's just one thing that you can do to arm yourself.
Nice. So, we're going to take the next call here.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Enjoying our morning. What about you?
Same thing. Well, I'm working, but hey. Anyways, I'm just calling to say, Al Killer kind of took a lot of my thunder because, of course, I'm big on the banking system. I feel like they are already in control. A person reaching out for what somebody has, they're your master, and we are under the master of Satan because they're controlled by these banks. I mean, everyone reaches out for what they have. Everyone tries to attain money, what they have, what they print. So how do we get out from under that? We have to change our mind and paradigm. And I feel like, I'm as old as your dad, Rex. I've been watching him since the 90s because I always knew instinctively as a kid that the system was rigged. I never voted till Trump came because I thought, well, here's not a politician. Maybe it'll be different.
Right.
Come to find out, he acted just like him. Damn shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we gotta love God, and that's what we have to do. We have to get out from this system, and we have to start acting because they've turned everything into a psyop. Your dad, God bless him, like I saying. But him just talking, it's all talk. It's just talk. It's just a talking head.
I disagree.
You know, it becomes a psyop. It becomes a psyop, man. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
They know.
Disagree.
I feel you, and I can, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to come down on him. I'm not. But what do? We just keep getting depressed and pushed down more by hearing how bad everything is.
Here's the thing, man. Now, if you were talking about that from the perspective of someone like Fuentes, who tells other people not to do broadcasting, not to go out there and be citizen journalists, citizen contributors, whatever, I would agree with you. But the thing that my father's done that's valuable, and the reason why he's not just a talking head, is because he's the voice that launched 1 million voices. That's who he is. The whole reason why we're having this conversation in this room right now is because of him.
Yeah,
he has woken innumerable people up, and you can call him a talking head. You can say all
Listen,
that's
I agree. I am fully on board with you on that. But it comes to a point you awaken people up to what? To be depressed, to take no action, to not really. I mean, like Al Killer said, we are beyond the pale of saying, you know, hey, you know, they're doing this over here. Well, look at the crime over here. Look at the fraud over here. Look at the theft over here. Look at the
Let me jump in here.
everything around you.
I definitely understand what you're saying here, because what he's speaking out of is out of frustration, because he's like, we're struggling. This is a real situation for me. Talking about it, he's thinking like, oh, it only does some. Here's the thing about when you're talking about these bigger heads, like my father, right? The fact that he's broadcasting out so wide, it does have impact, because it doesn't mean that like every single person can do something about it at every single moment, but you actually might reach the right person who actually has some ability to push the needle.
Yeah.
And if you get
there
enough
are people coming up right now in the power structure that are
Yes.
being influenced and have been influenced by these ideas over the past decades, it was a massive mistake to endorse Trump and to support Trump. I think that we all agree on that, but to just invalidate while I'm talking head,
And-
I completely disagree. I think it's extremely disrespectful.
And the last thing that I'll say is you got to think about the only way that you can change things is over a certain amount of time. If you do not put something in somebody's face, they forget. We get amnesia.
Like, who sued you, man?
All right.
Who sued you for $1 billion? Because you said all you ever did is talk. What did you use for your speech?
All right. No, listen, I didn't mean no disrespect, Rex. I really didn't. Man.
No, the thing
I'm just frustrated. I'm just frustrated with, man.
What it means is
you know, I've been listening to him for 30 years.
Everything, man.
I know shit's bad. We know shit's bad. We know the thieves are out there full force. They are coming. They have been here. They are established. They are robbing and raping us in every way, shape, or form.
Sure.
We get it.
All right, man. We appreciate
I get it.
Appreciate the call.
All right, thank you, Rex. You guys have a good day, man. Like I said, I didn't mean no disrespect, man. I love your dad. I listen to him every day. I will listen to him again today.
You're good, man. I get this is more of a sensitive thing for you because this is directly attacking you and your family and everything that he's built.
It's not an attack. He's frustrated. He wants more action. I agree. It's a big mistake to support Trump, and I was a part of that. We were all a part of that because we wanted to believe in something.
Well, we
But
thought
at the same
that was
time,
the guy that was going to take action.
Well, this whole environment wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And no one's been persecuted like my dad. No one's been deplatformed. No one's been attacked more. And for people to call us sellouts, grifters, I had somebody that I blocked for saying, "Oh, have your dad give you some of the Zionist money." Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
I lost fucking everything I should have ever had. You say, well, and people always say, well, you never deserved it in the first place. Maybe that's true. That's fine. But for you to come out here and say I didn't lose something or that we didn't give something up, then it's just all talk.
Everyone's in the same. Yeah, everyone's in the
Give
same
me a
boat.
fucking break, man.
Everyone's in the same is in the same boat. But to his point, like, you know, talking about it is important because if you don't keep it front of mind, it just allows it to go in the background. And here's the thing, as I said, not every single person is able to make an immediate impact, but you got to remember there are people who are lawmakers. There are people who have political making power that do listen and watch to what's happening in independent media. And that's also how they consume their news.
But
so if you're planting a seed, I'm just saying, let me finish this.
Sure.
You plant a seed of an idea and you expose it like the corruption, it becomes something that those people remember when they go in to make their decisions. And so if you get enough of that, it creates a butterfly effect. So being silent and saying nothing does absolutely nothing, right?
Well, the thing is like we should do more public events. We should do more organizing. We should do more protests. We should do more campaigning. We should do all these things. You know what these lead to? Lead to getting shot in the head. Okay, these are very dangerous
It is
situations
dangerous.
that require security, require protection, and proper planning, all of it. And for someone like my father that has been in court since 2018, even before then with my mom's divorce and all of that, like, you have no idea. Like, we have been so limited, so constrained, so abused. It's like going at someone that's like tied up and being like, why aren't you running a marathon? And it's like, well, we got tied up. So I don't understand how you can not follow like what happened to us in the censorship and the lawfare and go like, well, all they ever did is talk. So, all right. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Got to take the next caller. All the callers on the board, people are lighting up the phones here. Howdy.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, okay. Can I talk about healthcare and
Sure.
that affordability?
Feel free.
If we got rid of like maybe 20 million people that are getting it for free, it wouldn't be so expensive for the rest of us. One other point, may you please do a deep dive on the true population of China? That's all I have today. Good job. Keep it rolling.
True population in China. Here, stay on the phone for a second. We'll definitely cover that. What's on your mind as far as the affordability crisis? Has that impacted you?
Well, if we didn't have I don't have health insurance
Right.
because I can't afford it.
Right.
But if we weren't giving it to over 20 million people for free,
Wait,
for them to go to the doctors,
Question.
the immigrants,
20 million that you're
the illegal, the people that shouldn't be in our country to begin with,
okay. So let me
they move in.
clarify something right now.
They get food stamps, cash assistance, housing, and health care.
Let me clarify something. I'm going to be super respectful as I explain this. Healthcare has been an issue long before the last 6 years. Okay. It's something that we've been dealing with for a very long time here in the United States. It's the whole reason why we had the whole debacle with the Obamacare and Affordable Care Act, because of the fact that we've had issues with healthcare. And that comes down to more of the privatization of healthcare. There is no real checks and balances on the price and the ecosystem.
The doctor
also,
can decide, the hospital can decide, they can just make up a number for what they want to
Also,
charge.
I have talked to tons of medical experts. Doctors are incentivized to get people to take things that they shouldn't be taking, also because of the fact that it's expensive. Also, the bigger problem among all of that is monopolies. And this plays out into every single industry. Okay. When you have a giant company that absorbs all the rest of them, they set the market price, and it is no longer a free market to keep healthcare down. So I don't want us to do this whole blanket statement thing and just be like, well, it's just illegal immigrants, because we've had illegal immigration for a very long time, and that
They
has not been the
profit
biggest.
off the illegal immigrants, and they profit off the broken system. I think you and the caller both made excellent points. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the call. Now we're going to go to Aaron. Aaron runs a small business, and he's calling about the affordability. Talk to us about what you're experiencing, because we're also small business owners.
Hey, man. So I run a janitorial services company, and I'm white. So for anyone who says that white people don't want to do cleaning jobs, they're wrong. Freaking the affordability has gotten so bad with gasoline that I'm at the point of where I'm almost making no money. And if I charge my customers price increase because to cover the offset of gas, I might lose business.
Wow.
But in terms of how it affects me personally is, like I said, I work my tail off, brother, and I don't make barely any money. I'm just getting by. I haven't gone shooting in like 3 years. I haven't gone hunting. I haven't gone fishing. I don't have the money to buy anything. Like, all my money goes to gas and food, and that's it.
Were you a voter in 2024 for Trump? Did you believe in the economic recovery like I did?
Yep, I was fooled too.
How does it feel now? Like, it feels like an insult.
I feel,
to be honest,
I feel like, yeah, it's definitely an insult, but it's also I should have been smarter. I should have known that Trump was not the savior type, and that he was in it for himself, and that his alignment for example, let me scoot back for a second.
Sure.
How did Donald Trump get out of all his bankruptcies? What banks or entities did he go through?
That's a good
Do
question.
you know that answer?
Answer it, the rhetorical
Well, I
question.
mean, how did he get out of them? I mean,
He got built up.
Right. Who gave him the seed money to get out of the bankruptcies?
Oh, whatever connections he already had within the system.
It was the Rothschilds.
Right.
Yeah.
Rothschild Bank.
So knowing that, I should have known. I should have been smarter to realize that words are just words, and that those connections run deep.
Right.
No, but you know what? You can't really you can't really blame yourself too much, like because of the fact of whether you came right and you thought Trump was going to be the solution, or whether you came on the left and you thought Biden was going to be the solution. The thing is like these candidates always do run on the fact of like
they always
that people are struggling. And when all you can see is struggle, it's very hard to just sit there and like think about anything else. Like, who's going to really take the time to go in and research everything about Trump and know, like, okay, this is what I'm voting on, and this is how I should
And
be
then
informed.
what's your alternative?
Right?
You got Kamala. Like it's just you're set up to fail. They set us up to fail. They set us up to fail because they're criminals. Like they that's what they do.
So yeah, don't
right.
be hard on you. So we all got into the same boat. This is the reason why we speak out against it.
Absolutely. But like material costs for you. So talking about fuel, this is also an issue for me. I got to downsize my center because I just like with the fuel surcharge, doing like anywhere from like the 50 to 30. Wait.
Right.
What's kind of been an event besides the fuel for you? Are there any like material costs that have gone up? Because obviously you're in cleaning spaces, you need materials. So
yeah, luckily the cleaning supplies is a small overhead compared to gas, because I fill up twice a week, and I don't have like a big truck. I have a small Tacoma that's fuel efficient.
Right.
But I fill up twice a week. $80-$90 each time, when it used to be $40 to $50 each time.
Right.
That's a big increase. Now, my other question for you would be like, okay, you're absorbing these costs. Don't you have to increase your cost in order to compensate for the fact?
You can't.
Oh, you
So
can't.
that's what I was saying, is that's the debacle that us small business owners come into, is we can do the gas surcharge, but then we run the risk of losing business.
Yes. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword there.
Now, and
Yep.
the thing is, like, I've experienced this with like looking for clients and trying to find clients. Like, it's a dog eat dog world out there, and they are looking for just 1 penny off. Like that's what they're
right.
And it's crazy because what the larger companies do is they socialize that across, because they have so many customers, they can increase it like slightly,
right,
to where they are actually recuperating some of their money, but people are actually seeing that cost hit them without realizing that it's an increase.
That's a good point. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah. At what point are words no longer enough? Because I watch you, I watch your dad. I've been a fan for about a decade when I was young, and I'm just starting to get tired of politics and the way that we're just always talking about the problem and identifying the problem, and identifying some solutions, but it kind of feels like we're not voting our way out of this. There's no red or blue team that I belong to. They don't belong to us. They don't represent us.
Well, I agree with that. Keep in mind, just going back in the media, started doing gray area and stuff like 7 months ago, and started doing American Journal and New American Journal like just now, basically. Like I've said this from day one. This is what I said. It's peaceful, nonviolent, good trouble, like Martin Luther King Jr. style stuff. Marches in the streets, peacefully chanting, "Kill the pedophiles, end the war, stop it now," and that will happen when the crash comes. And that's what I'm going to push for. That's what I'm working towards. What we're building. And that's my
what I look for, and why I still support the fact of speaking out continuously and not allowing these situations to die out, is because, again, you have to, just like everyone got brainwashed into believing one thing and it ended up being a bad thing for us, you have to do the other, because people are starting to have kids. When you have kids, you need to teach your kids certain principles. But if you have it in the back of your mind, hey, look, don't always trust everything that you believe when it comes down to what politicians are telling. Some people are telling. So you really have to do this at a generational thing and it only comes out when you continuously push that message across the brainwaves.
No, I agree. Sorry to interrupt. I also would say action. We're not just talking. Like, we set something up here to grow, to build an audience of network of people, of like-minded individuals that eventually are going to do it. That's what I believe in. Okay, because I want people to live, and I want people to stop doing politics and start doing America. That's what I represent. Like, people says he's American. He's from Chicago. I'm American. Tim's America. Tim got the COVID shot. Tim's America. Yeah, the free speech censorship. I'm America. We've been abused by the system, and we come together like victimhood, we like crying about it, have unity and say, hey, the past is the past. Be innocent and clear. Like, the future is ours. We can choose to take it. They want to make us fight, and ultimately, what you're talking about is like, when are words not just words? Like, when are words not enough? Like, when do we have to do something? We have.
I'm talking Second Amendment type things. That's the real purpose.
We have everything we need, and like you're referencing, in the Constitution, and fix all these problems. That's all I'll say. Thank you for the call. We'll go to the next caller. I think it's New Groiper. It's been a while since we talked to him.
You guys can keep calling in. There's more spots in the
number up.
Yeah. There's more spots. We'll increase it next time. We can increase it up to like 6 people or something. Well, a lot of people, but it's just you get costs depending on how many people are in queue.
Okay, yeah, be careful about background noise, guys.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is like, I know everyone's not like an audio engineer and stuff, but like, just avoid like running water, trains.
Yeah.
No trains.
Speakerphone, like if you just keep it like actually on just a normal microphone, that would be good.
No feedback.
Go ahead and call that number. There's another slot available for anybody who wants to talk about things.
Yeah, we're gonna keep.
New Groiper, is this you, my man?
Are you on the
What's going on?
Hey,
what's going on, fellas?
And hey, let's talk about this, because I saw weeks ago you lost your job. What the hell happened, man?
They laid off. Well, my last day's not coming for a few more months because they extended it. They fired over 20,000.
What company is this? Facebook Meta, right?
No, it's not Facebook. I can't say because I am a corporate account. I'll be happy to tell you offline if you want to know.
Sure.
But yeah, no, they're
big company,
and they're all
big company,
very big, very big. They're a prominent employer in the state of Florida. Is about as in depth as I can go right now. But like I said, we can talk offline if you want the details. But yeah, so starting over at my age and looking for new jobs, and
How old are you?
I'm going to be turning 30 soon. So
the correct answer was 69,420. All right, when someone asked,
69.
So what is it? What did it feel like? What was the process like? They just sent you guys emails, hey, we're just going to have to lay all these people off. Are all your coworkers also getting laid off? Is that what's happening?
So essentially what they did is they went in and the legal team prepared statements for the managers. And so we got invited to a call. They're like, hey, we're letting everybody go. We're giving you severance. Here's your date. You're going to facilitate the transfer of knowledge is basically what they said. And they've already extended that by 3 months because my last day was supposed to be June. And the end of June, but they've extended it again.
They're like, well, you're going to,
and
you got to keep working. Is that what you're saying here?
Yeah. They said, the thing said an acceptable standard of work in order to keep my severance. But
oh, so they're like, if you're not going to work like a slave still till we decide to let you go, you're not getting your.
The problem is they're letting go so many people. There's nobody left, and the managers are just wondering when they're next. And it's that kind of thing. But what was that?
Nobody to manage,
Right. Well, here's the problem, and this goes back to the debate I had on the gray area way back when. They brought in a guy from India who worked at a company, a headhunting firm in India, and then he came over to our company, and then he got in contact back with his old team and basically said, hey, you can fire half the people, you can transfer the other half to this company, and we'll save you money and still get the same amount of work done, which is just not real. And the company bought it because they're dumb. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about like half of the company is gutted, and it is by no means a small company.
The way they
So
do.
who is the transfer of knowledge going to? Are you like sitting next to some guy and he's learning your job?
No, it's not happening. Is what's in reality. They just put it on paper, and they don't know what they're doing. This new company, so basically, like out of all the layoffs, in order to keep people from being laid off, they're sitting them. Hold on, did my headphones just die?
No, you're good.
No, I can still hear you.
Great. Everyone's
Okay.
audio is phenomenal.
Okay, cool. Okay, but essentially they were just like, hey, we're trading you to this other company. So a lot of employees just got involuntarily moved, and they said, if you don't go to this new company, you don't get severance, you're quitting. But here's your job over here with this new. It's like a temp firm essentially.
Right.
And so, basically they did all that, and then they told the rest of us, we were just, hey, you're getting, your position is being eliminated. And I was like, awesome. I've spent like 6 years in this, wasted my time.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, as in like the concept of like the gold watch and all of that is now dead, and like you're supposed to bounce around from job to job, and like that's anti-American. That's not how this country used to be. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's that, dude. Affordability, dude. Because I know that's the theme of the day, dude. It takes like $120 to fill up my truck.
Oh,
I'm lucky I don't go nowhere anymore, but yeah, it's over. We're cooked.
So, a question for you then. So, like, I don't know how big your team was, but I'm saying you all of you guys got laid off. Were you one of the people that got transferred over, or they're like?
No, we just got we just got riffed.
Okay.
So there were like 60 people who in my department, like a very small department, but it had 60 people, were just let go, from my boss's boss to me to people who have been here for 40 years or 30 years. We're talking about, like, there was no rhyme. From what I understand from the director, these cuts came from on high. Nobody was consulted. It was just kind of like a lottery system type thing.
Wow.
And the company is currently being sued, a big time law firm out of New York City. So it's an interesting
about this fundamentally. If you're doing like almost like a lottery system where you're just kind of clearing house based off of numbers, because I have seen how these upper departments work sometimes. They do work off of spreadsheets, head count, those types of things. They're not looking at the ground level of like, okay, this guy's got this experience, he's performing this well, this guy is performing poorly. And like, no, if you do a blanket like that, you're talking about the thing that I was mentioning earlier, the brain drain. This is the problem that makes the company get into these situations in the first place. You take a senior guy who's been there forever, who knows exactly what to do, how to fix a problem. No one's there to fix that problem anymore. You start deteriorating your base. It makes no sense.
Oh yeah. I'm actually the second most senior. Which my promotions, I'd been passed up for offshore people. That had been a theme, but basically I am the second most senior in time person in my position doing my job out of the whole team. And I'm going and all of that knowledge, and they're still wanting me to do everything. Like, they're still consulting me for things and asking me for help, and I'm cleaning up messes for the very people who I got replaced with offshore. And that's just kind of the nature of it. And this is exactly what I warned about all those months ago. I had no idea it would hit me, but here we are.
We believe in you, New Groper.
What's the job market looking like? Have you been applying? Have you had any success with trying to find a new job? Or
yeah, I'm going to smash rocks for a living. Like that's what's out there.
Yeah, people have been telling me to get an oil rig. People have been telling me, hey, you need to get a rig. So
that's actually something I've actually seriously been considering, because the tech jobs, they're going away. because they're trying to push the AI. And here's one thing that I will say for this AI bubble. All these companies are swapping over to AI-driven product solutions when they're not factoring in token usage and how much money that's actually going to cost.
Sure.
Like and I'm sure you've worked with Tim, you've probably worked with like advanced AI models. That stuff ain't cheap.
No.
It's like a novelty and like like a normal person jacks around with it can spend, on like a very simple model can run you like $25 to $40 a day.
Yeah, and it's not even,
and that's not like quad.
It's not even just that. You're seeing AI is one of those things that is happening because they thought like, oh, this is super efficient, but what they're finding is they're having to bring people back because the AI is still hallucinating and doing things that it shouldn't be doing, and it's not as advanced as they thought it was. So they're having to bring back, because
it lies.
Like an extension of an arm, not the whole replacement of the tool and the people who do the job itself. What you could have done instead of laying off a bunch of developers was, hey, we want you to do your job, but we want to use it. We want you to use AI while doing that job. That way you're like increasing the productivity like 20-fold.
They're going to use AI, tell AI what to do. Think about that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is like I worked with a very unique proprietary product that has been established over the past 20 to 30 years. And it's very quirky. It's got unique characteristics, and some things just don't work the way you would think they would. And AI is not going to be able to work with it because it just has bugs. And when an AI encounters a bug, they just blow up, or they just make something up, which is actually a lot worse. Because we're dealing with like people's private banking information,
right?
And all of that stuff now is going overseas to India. It's being driven by AI models. The AI is going to have access to all your banking records. All of them.
Wow.
Talk about nanny state.
Oh, dude, you want to talk like the AI Armageddon is here. Like we are in the first 20 minutes of the iRobot movie.
Well,
that's where we're at.
Just to educate you guys just a little bit, because I did do a mini deep dive on this. AI is it is on, like, if you talk about like the top 5 reasons they're laying people off, the biggest reason, if I'm not mistaken, is because of them just reallocating the resources. Like they're doing stock buybacks too. Like there's a lot of stuff that's going on that we're not talking about.
That's what I was thinking about, is like, these companies, they should still be able to make plenty of money, but they demand their margins be the most insane.
Yeah.
And like that's like, isn't a real recession indicator when you see prices go down?
Yeah.
Depression indicator?
Yeah. We've been in a recession. Let's be honest. Like it's just not on paper. The official term is 2 quarters of negative GDP, which again, like that's such a terrible way to classify it. You got to look at the real sentiment of what's happening here. But when I look at this situation and I say, okay, well, where's all that money going? They just have to appeal to the stockholder and the shareholders, right? There's a lot of market instability that actually is happening around the world, which is the number one reason for the adjustments of the job force. Also, sorry to make this adjacent, one of the biggest reasons that's even more than AI, they're using AI also as a smokescreen. A lot of these companies made really bad decisions. During 2022, there was an access of like this free money at 0% where they bought all of these different things. They started trying to spin off new products that they shouldn't have been doing, and they increased their headcount for things that like didn't make sense. And so now they're trying to trim the fat, and they're trying to like do it in a conspicuous way to say like, oh no, shareholders, don't worry, we didn't make a mistake. We're just reacting to what the market is giving us and the new technology. But no, they messed up. Amazon is one of those companies that messed up by they had a robot that was in your house. They did a whole department, a robot that was supposed to be in your house and had an Alexa screen on it. What the hell is anybody going to do with that? That's why it failed. That's why it didn't work. So
no, Tim, you're spot on, because the company that I work for, like I said, I'll give you more details offline. They were sued because of a corrupt merger acquisition to the tune of $200 million, and they lost. And so they've been panicking trying to sort, because I mean they bought a crappy product and then had to spin it off, and then they had to settle for $200 million, and now they're being sued again for they're suing them for breach of fiduciary duties, security fraud, and something else.
Wow. And
But yeah, and they're asking for clawbacks. They're going to go after the CEO and the money that person made. They're going to want all the bonuses back.
And let me make this last point here so that everybody, this comes full circle. The way that you save the most money and what costs the most to a company is labor and headcount. So to get an immediate amount of money or cash back, they start laying off people to account. So like your company, there's so many different reasons. That is probably one of the biggest reasons, because it's not really easy to like just destroy a whole product line and get rid of like infrastructure, but you can get rid of people very quickly and stop paying them.
And they call it streamlining.
Exactly.
Well, the problem with this is all these people they sent over to the company, this new company, they're paying them the same wage that they paid them here, but they're also paying whatever surplus, whatever surcharge the secondary company is. And on top of that, they didn't, like, if your company's hurting, you don't cut the departments that make you the money. And they cut every department, including core development. Like core development for like banking infrastructure. Wow. And those contracts run, $20 million a year for big banks just in software. And they gutted everybody. And so, it's unfortunate that things are the way they are, but it's exactly what we've all been talking about and warning about. It hit really close to home this time with me. So
yeah.
Now I'm going to be blue collar.
We definitely wish you the best, New Groper, and definitely call back in.
Call back in. Really appreciate the call. We're going to go to the next caller. New Groper, a classic of the show. Been here since the very beginning. Salute. Thank you very much. We're going to go to the next call talking about affordability. You are on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. Oh, they probably didn't even know.
Oh, no.
They're probably on hold.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Where are you at?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
About an hour up under Warren County. Called the nursery capital of the world. For all the trees and all that stuff they got down here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
I'm 40 years old. Got 5 kids to take care of, a wife in school to be an addiction counselor. And can't pay for nothing right now. Slowly going backwards.
Wow. So what's your financial situation? Have you been squeating? Yeah.
I mean, I was raising my grandfather back in the country, so like I didn't go to school and like that. I didn't go any farther. I do pretty much manual labor. I do the the landscaping, all the good stuff that I like doing.
Right.
I used to be busy all the time. Now I build containers for fabricate metal. So
nice. Salt of the earth, real American. What's the fuel price?
I'm having to go.
Life.
Fuel price right now about $4.50. I drive a diesel to work, which is actually better fuel mileage. So probably $5.50 a gallon right now.
And what is
I buy eggs. I buy eggs from a farmer. I buy half a cow at a time.
Smart.
And that's how we make it. Like while my wife was in work, but man, like I had no idea about none of this. I grew up with 2 Pentecostal preachers as grandfathers, so I'm just now learning in the last year that about some stuff, like listening to Alex and all that good stuff. I'm learning a lot. I never really was on social media.
Bless you for that. I mean, you escaped prison.
No, I didn't escape. I feel like I'm like a virgin or something, dude. Like I'm like, what in the world's going on here? Like,
yeah,
it's out.
Weird. 100%.
Go ahead.
The thing is like when you go into a grocery store, like you talk about buying a cow, buying chickens, buying eggs, like you're using a survival mechanism that most people don't even know exists. So you're empowered. You're empowered a lot more than some people that don't know how to get these resources. I mean, when you go to a grocery store and you're an uninformed consumer and you're just buying, I guess, cereal and, chicken tendies at Randall's to feed your little kids, Like, you don't know there's an alternative anywhere. You don't know about homesteading. You don't know about going to a butcher, actually buying the cow for yourself. So I think you're already doing a great job. And I think that's a message for other people, is to look for alternative sources, to barter with people, to trade with small business people and farmers, ranchers, you name it.
You know, also, I would say, you know, you just woke up, but I would say ignorance is bliss sometimes, man. Like,
seriously,
it is. I'm sure you're feeling chaos now.
You're
Peeling
like,
layers.
you're like Hank Williams Jr., a country boy can survive. That's what you're.
Dude, no, I grew up with Fox News on the channel every time that's what's on TV.
Right.
I believe like the Bible, Israel, yada yada yada, all that garbage crap. Anyway, went to prison, got out. You know, I'm a convicted felon, which is another story that I think I'm more of a patriot than half the pedophiles out here. But whatever. I don't know, man. It's wild that I got charged with what I got charged with. You know, I backed up in a car into another car doing about 2 miles an hour. So I'm now a convicted felon. I cannot do certain things, but I can talk about voting. I can talk about what I think and what I believe.
Right.
Got to lead my kids right. But
right, well,
the people that make the rules.
That you can't participate in the political process, but they'll have Epstein's lawyer on TV telling Americans why their sons and daughters need to die for another foreign country.
Yeah.
So
I've hunted my whole life, and they tell me you can't own a weapon. Your wife can't have one at home by herself. Your kid can't have one. But we're talking about the homestead, like it's all good. That's good stuff. But man, the mortgage that I got,
yeah,
like 2 or 3 years ago was kind of like doable. Man, it's not doable right now. Like, I got an 18-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter, and they're with me. And it ain't like, hey, we're gonna move out of dad's house. We got our own house. Like, it's almost like we're in tribal now. It's like everybody, we're at this house, we're doing this, we're all eating together, staying together. We're living like,
yeah,
living like Mexicans, bro.
We become the third world in a lot of places. Thank you so much for your call. You're a true patriot. Really
Thank you. We appreciate it. We got another call. We're getting to the end of this.
Talking
show.
about the price of formula again.
Well, one thing I want to mention before bringing him on, they say the population is decreasing, and we all need to have kids and increase the amount of babies that we're producing. Well,
the kids don't have the sperm.
That's what RFK Jr. said.
Well, it's like, no, I think, my sperm works just fine. But, the problem is I look at the ROI of, like, if I have a kid right now,
right,
and I'm trying to also build, and I also am finding it's difficult with how much things cost. I can't afford a kid. I mean, I hear these people talking about baby formula. Like, what would it be, adding another extra $700 to $800 a month to take care of a kid? I can't do that. The average person can't do that. So people are making conscious decisions now. The younger people are like, yeah, I mean, it used to be like you would try to get a kid by the time you were like between the ages of like 25 to 30 or like 32. Well, it just doesn't make sense now. People are like, well, I got to hold off on that because I don't know if I can put food in my mouth or even the kid's mouth.
Sure.
So that's really a big thing here.
Let's talk to Ben about formula. Last call of the day. Ben, you're on the air. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's good to talk to you again, Rex. Nice to talk to you, Tim. I called in yesterday. Just really appreciate both of you guys. But yeah, I'm calling about the formula. It's just because, I wanted to add to, what Al Killer was talking about. They make the ones that are affordable. They are the goy slop. They got seed oils in them and everything. I'm in a lucky position. I was just like the last caller. I source my beef. I source my eggs, just because I don't want to eat whatever they think is, this is affordable because it's got nothing but crap in it. I buy from the Ungovernable Project because, I'm a true believer in a healthy America. I support you guys as much as I can because, yeah, I'm a truck driver. My wife is a pharmacist, but we're still barely making it because I'm not going to just because, I can't afford it. No, I'm going to eat healthy because I want my kids to have longevity. I got a 3-year-old and a 8-month-old that I am trying to raise with good testosterone levels and to be info warriors to fight this good fight. So, even though go ahead.
Hold on. So you're telling me that you're not cool with short-term pain for long-term gain? Because that sounds like you're not being paid.
Exactly.
That's what they'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm totally unpatriotic right now.
Being racist too.
Racist. Can't complain about.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tim.
Exactly.
But no, I'm gonna fight for what I believe because your dad really is part of what saved me from myself. I was a soy boy, eating whatever I wanted. I was overweight, and I see people talk crap about the supplements in the Rebel channel, and I watch, and they have no idea that those supplements saved me. Changed my life. Put me back on track. So I will make the sacrifice and try to help you guys as much as I can and put myself into the red because I'm going to fight for what's right for this America that I believe to be, raised in, like I'm a millennial, I'm 35 and I'm trying my best for my kids, and I will spend that extra dollar and I will support causes like you guys because, I'd rather, leave them with some type of value instead of like, oh no, my money's dying with me. I'm going to support Palantir. Like, no, I'm for the revolution. I truly believe in both what you guys are talking about, your father, Anthony Grafaro, like you guys you're doing the right thing. So I will pay that extra money to help you guys.
Really appreciate that. The thing is with the supplements, people don't know how bad they're doing until they take something that reduces inflammation, until they take an antioxidant, because
exactly
talking about like just kind of being in that negative feedback loop, you got to get something that breaks you out of that. And we really have basically sold things that have really helped people. And it's the same stuff that's in Whole Foods, same stuff that like I go to like a compounding pharmacy sometimes, right? That's on South Lamar. It's right next to the Cilantro place. And it's just a boutique supplement store. And I look at the labels, it's the same stuff we sell.
Yeah.
And then people will call us grifters for doing it. And I don't mean to harp on that too long. I just wanted to showcase like you're somebody that it's a true 360 win. You got informed and empowered through the show, and you got something that helped you change your life for a positive way through the show.
Yeah, and I'm not shooting any of this down. I think that like the 360 one is necessary, but I heard you say something. Look, the supplements are secondary to your own life, in my opinion. I'm not here to grift. He's not here to grift. Like if you prioritize yourself, that is above
he's
everything.
buying beef tallow because he's going to buy the beef tallow already.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What he's saying. So like,
no,
100%. That's what it is.
I'm just saying, like like we're not expecting people to give their last dime, like the Church of Latter-day Saints, that Scientology. That's like, hey,
right,
$1,000. We need
$1,000 seed.
$1,000 is not enough. We need it. We need it.
Or like Paula White buying your salvation. Ridiculous. Like, yeah, I'm just, totally for, I pay attention to what I eat. That's, like you guys talk about, I voted for Trump because he ended RFK. I was, speculative of him because I just know, as soon as they come in, like Putin said, as soon as the president's elected, the guys in the black suits come in like, hey, this is what's really going to happen, and like sometimes I even think like, dude, should I just run for president? Because I don't care. I don't care about the money. I want a safe America for our children, for these Gen Z kids that are actually, waking up and seeing how evil this world is, and it's the goy slop, and like people are just, like you said, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes I wish I didn't know all this stuff so I could go eat a burger and not think like, hey, what's in this ingredient? Is it real beef? Like I make it so much harder on my family because I'm so about the ingredients now to where, I hurt some of people in my own family's feelings because I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to fight for what I believe in. Your father, I love that you guys play the old school clips because it's like he has been American since day one, and it pisses me off when people are like, oh, he's Zionist, oh, his new wife is Jewish. So what? Not all Jews are bad. There's these bad Zionists that are wanting us dead. Doesn't mean there's Orthodox Jews fighting for us. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, brother. I always preach out against like, hey, let's not lump the whole group because there are people that actually do not agree with what's happening. Just like we don't agree with the violence that America does around the world. We're speaking out against that. But
I think he made a key point about like, I think maybe you should just run for political office and whatever. And that may be like slightly a joke or whatnot. But I truly believe if we flood the zone with independent candidates, if we have people is there a limit to how many people can run? Like, let's test it. Let's try these things out. I want to break the system. And I think we're going to build more on that in the future. Thank you so much for the call, sir. Appreciate your time.
No problem. You guys have a blessed day.
You too.
Take it easy. Great show.
Great show.
We're going to wrap it up here.
I missed this. I missed you guys. Let me just end the show real quick here.
So we don't spin the mouse real quick. Thank you.
Yeah, I miss this, guys. Like, genuinely, I don't think I've done a call-in show besides InfoWars in a very long time. Hearing your guys' voices is just something
Yeah, no,
satisfying to talk.
It's been a couple months for sure. It's been a couple months since we've done anything like this. But we want to remind people, here's the thing. If you have the means, if you don't have the means, totally understand. Just share the live link, share the feed, subscribe, follow us on X. Just support the show itself, Gray Area and American Journal. And of course, American Journal, New American Journal. Let's see where we're at really quick. We're at 94. Can we get to 100? Can we get to over 100 on the New American Journal Rumble
You got
page?
multiple accounts. Go and subscribe.
Let's go ahead and go subscribe, guys, because that really means the world. But here's the thing. If you got the means, just like the caller was talking about, I mean, I can't think of a better system to break you out of a negative feedback loop than the Core Fusion right here. What does the ultimate ashwagandha do? The ultimate ashwagandha lowers your cortisol and increases your testosterone. It also increases your relaxed phenotype and it's GABAergic, meaning that it allows you to compete with the excess demand, the excess exercise, what it takes to actually get into shape. This keeps your body relaxed enough so you're able to gain muscle and lose fat. If your cortisol is too high, that won't happen. Combined with the elemental drive, which is the core mineral support for metabolism, enzymatic support, testosterone support, overall hormonal support, men and women in general, all these products are amazing for both men and women. We've got the zinc, we've got the boron, we've got the selenium, we've got the magnesium, we've got the copper, the vitamin D3. Everything you want to take all together, use code CORE25, get 25% off. That's an incredible value. Go ahead and tell them about it, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I take this stuff. We got some right here sitting in the studio. So like these, not only just the design of these, we put a lot of effort into this product, but at the same time,
absolutely,
you know, the number one product is this elemental drive. You know,
love it.
This is something that Rex formulated himself. This is the thing that actually gives you that silent energy without making it feel like you're just like roided up or something like that. It's that clean energy that we all need. And, you know, the magnesium is something that I realized I was pretty deficient in. So that's why I started taking this as well. And there's just a bunch of other minerals that we're deficient in, but
right.
You know,
it's very important, especially, you know, if you're somebody that has more melanin, to take vitamin D as well.
Yeah.
Super important.
Oh, you're
I think
right.
It's like 80% of people are deficient in that.
Yep. 100%. So, I mean, look, we really genuinely care about every single viewer that watches the show. You know, this does go back into the show. We don't take a dime from this stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Everything is meant on the production.
So we can work on bigger and better projects once we have enough funds. And that's the thing is, like, when you buy the product to support the show, we're going to honor your commitment with how we use that money.
Yeah, I want to do, here's the thing. I wanted to start being able to do like giveaways.
Yeah.
I wanted to start being able to do like where like we could give people merch for free and do like raffles and things like that. But like a lot of that stuff does take resources because that's the give back period, right? So we really appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Not even just that. If you guys want to support in general, subscribe. You know, you're on X. Definitely Rumble, like what we're talking about. He created, Rex has been putting in the work to give you guys the New American Journal.
Right. And we're going to do Gray Area every Tuesday. That's Gray Area meets New American Journal, Gray Area X American Journal. Highly recommend everybody goes on to X and follows Gray Area.
Tuesdays with Tim.
And then, of course, Tuesdays with Tim, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, me and Tim are live. We do 3-hour show. That's 9 hours live a week, probably more with special events and, you know, interviews and whatnot. Go ahead and follow Tim. The thing is, when you build up his profile, when you build up my profile, when you share our feeds on X, comment under our stuff, that makes us bigger so we can get bigger guests.
100%.
And that's what's important, right? Because people, they look at us and like, I have some name value, but they go, you're a surname merchant, right? But then they go, oh, you have an audience, you have a platform, and they want to work with us, right? So that's really you guys empowering us, and that's free of charge. Doesn't cost any money to follow Tim. Doesn't cost any money to follow Gray Area. Doesn't cost any money to follow or subscribe to New American Journal. Let's go ahead and get that to 100. Let's see where we're at. Oh, do we get it over? We're close. We need 4 more people. We need 4
copy
more
and
American
paste this
patriots.
into the
oh yeah, you're totally right. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we'll copy and paste this into the actual stream so that you guys.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I'm gonna make a banner. Actually, no, the banner won't work. But yeah, just go ahead, take that link and if you can, go follow New American Journal. I think you can.
Oh, that's only is that appearing on X or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, just paste that in the.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. People understand because we'll keep plugging it. But that's New American Journal, and that's on Rumble.
You guys got to go check out Infowars. I mean, oh man, that just hurt. Yeah.
Alex Jones Network.
Alex Jones Network. Wow.
That's right.
That sucks to be able to not be able to say that word anymore. But we love you guys nonetheless. Go check out Alex Jones. He's on right now at
He's
11
on in 2 minutes.
2
Really
minutes.
quick. Here's the thing. If you guys want melatonin, I got the best melatonin. Go ahead and get yourself some classic knockout sleep support. Use code KO for an extra 10% off. It's like $25. Incredible value, melatonin, everything else people take separately for sleep together. Time-honored product, legendary product, hundreds of thousands of units sold. That's Knockout Sleep Support on 50percentoff.com. And here's the thing. If you're going to buy toothpaste,
I'm actually going to get my next set of toothpaste. I'm
yeah.
coming. I'm actually going to buy. No, I'm going to buy.
All right, you're going to buy some.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some
toothpaste. If you want the bubble gum, which is really popular with kids, that's $10. All right, it's a little bit more for the peppermint because I got a little.
I'm
bit
more of like a
more.
peppermint guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little more of the bubble gum than I do the peppermint. So that's why the price differential is there. But thank you all for being here. We will see you next Tuesday.
Good to be back, guys.
And this Sunday for Gray Area Talks. Really appreciate it.
See you guys Thursday.
Peace out.